man, I can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world? Oh.
Out for a walk late at night, the animals howl and cry. Young lady on her way home turns a shortcut in the park. The owls who loud in the dark. Young lady's heart jump starts. Before you go on late at night, the fools are already to fight. Take a gun and climb over night. The fools are waiting to die. Million miles away from home, the shortcut feels so long. Strangers appear on her path, their hearts filled with wrath. Another victim starts to pray. Curious creatures stare away. Before you go on late at night, the fools are already to fight. Take a gun and climb overnight. The fools are waiting to die.
The moon lights the path ahead as her assailants turn her way. Their calls frighten her mind as she starts to run for her life.
Before you go on late at night, the fools are already to fight. Take a gun and climb overnight. The fools are waiting to die.
It is a silence.
The silence.
Welcome to the Monkey Show, everybody. This is your Monkey King, Zero Monkey, Monkey King of Zealandia, with my co-host, as usual, the one and only,
The one.
very,
and
very,
only.
very,
Big
very,
Tom.
very, very special.
I don't think like that. I always feel like a hot young star, on the other hand. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? You know? I mean, I say that in jest. It neither has any meaning nor doesn't have it. I mean, everyone should think of themselves as that, you know?
The hot young star, Timothy Olsen.
I
And of
was
course,
just-
we have Jason BASCOM.
Present your research, please.
I don't know if I do research. I don't
Now-
know what research is.
I need to check, get this link on the screen so we can have something to look at. And would you like to share some work, Jason? So the black screen is there. Otherwise, I'll have to just go our normal screen, which is just, something like this.
Oh, you want me to share something?
Yeah. Let's put something up on there.
I wasn't prepared. Let me open up.
Shame on you.
Yeah. I did not know.
Let me get this other screen up. But welcome, man. Thank you for hanging out with us today,
Yeah.
Jason. Really excited about this because, I mean, it's just, dude. Like, I'm excited because, see, I'm a metalhead, right? And my art, there's certain things in my life that started out that got me on the journey to art, and metal is one of them because of the cover art, right, from Iron Maiden.
Right.
I think it was Killers, and I used to draw Eddie all the time, right? Eddie is like their mascot,
Yeah.
and I used to draw that all the time, bro. And then the logo designs made me become, because if you look at our logos, right, for any of the stuff we do, they have to stand out. There's a particular way I like my logos to look, and I'll do them over and over until I'm like, this is it, and then I'll go, yeah, nah, let's do it again, and probably 30 different logo designs later, then I'm happy. So, metal has played a huge part of my life, and along with comic books. But at 15 years age, when you learn what heavy metal is, it's like, what the hell? What's this radio shit I've been listening to all this time for? Right? What's this pop music? What's Madonna with Living on a Prayer or whatever, or all this other stuff, like, you've got freaking Iron Maiden singing Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, it's like, what's that from? And then you go search it, right? Unlike pop music, you actually go into research about the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Alexander the Great, who was that? Now, have you ever listened to a pop music in your life, Tim or Jason, and thought, let me go find out about love, right? Hey, Rush, what's up?
Yo, what up, Mush? Yeah, I guess you could, though, because there's plenty. I mean, the subject has been tackled beyond death. But if you really want to investigate, like Shakespeare, or even, just classics like that, or even, you go way back and investigate the philosophy of what love could be, maybe with Plato. You know what I mean? Like, you could. I doubt you're going to, but you could.
Isn't pop music meant to be disposable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about music that lasts. It's like story, right? Great, amazing storytelling that lasts, right? Because
share my screen in case you want to show what's on my screen over there.
I'm there, but it's not letting me share, bud. Let me see if it's because of if I need to stop that and try to share that.
Yeah, there you
go. Can you zoom in, please?
Can I zoom in? Is the question. I believe I can.
Question.
And I forgot to, that's awesome. So I forgot to read Rushbrook Draws chat here. He goes, "What's up, everyone? Holy shit, it's Jason."
Whoa,
yes, it is Jason.
Yeah, it's the Mush Man. What up, Rushbrook? Yeah. So you pull this up real quick.
Yeah, and so when I saw your artwork, man, I was like, I used to draw like this. This is a shame about my having lost the use of my right hand, right, to draw. Back in '94, it's like at the peak of going to art school. 3 months in, I was in an accident and glass sliced my tendons in my right hand, right?
Yeah.
My drawing hand, and so it's like now I don't usually draw. I just paint or stuff. But man, I love this sort of style, this rugged, awesome, and not indie. It's that metal kind of feel to it. It's not your Marvel or DC stuff, and Rush is right. Rush agrees. That's cool. That looks cool.
Yeah, thanks.
It is cool.
I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I was more starting off influenced by comics, and because I was younger and reading comics and collecting, and then I didn't get into metal till maybe mid to late teens. My brother was heavy into metal. And it didn't off on me until a little later. So it still though is juxtaposed together, and
right,
and then looking at people like and I say Geiger, but H.R. Giger, and stuff like that, obviously plays into it. Oh, where'd it go? It's gone.
I got you. Don't you worry. I'm in control here. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now. Okay.
Good thing, because I never know what I'm doing. Yeah. But So, and then what's up?
So let me guess. When you start drawing that, I want to draw the most fucked up thing I can think of.
Yeah. Well, stuff like that. When I started drawing, I was like, oh, I want to draw the turtles. Like that was like, I think
Oh.
most indie comic artists like start off that way when they're younger, because that was like the biggest thing. People our age, it was out at the time, was the Turtles. So, but as I grew up and started looking at Sam Keith and Bill Sienkiewicz and just broadening my horizons a little more, then yes, and then integrating, and then listening to metal, seeing metal art and their covers and stuff like that, integrating stuff like that into it. So it was a big artist that I'm a big fan of is Derek Hess. He did posters here in Cleveland, Ohio, for a lot of the bands that would come, like big bands like Pantera, Crowbar, Jesus Lizard, just a whole slew for like the local area. And his style just had crazy movement and off the wall concepts and just weird amalgamations of like just meshing things together, and very loose and sketchy. So that was a very early influence of mine, was Derek Hess.
You were talking about this gentleman here?
Hold on, I got to turn my magnifier on because I can't see.
Yeah, that's right. I apologize because
no. I'm legally blind, so
that's what I was going to ask you to do. Tell people that why you need a magnifier, right?
Yeah, because I'm legally blind, so the magnifier helps quite a bit. But yeah, that's Derek Hess, that's his stuff. But way back, started off in the probably late 80s to 90s, maybe 90s. But he was one of my earlier influences as far as like just branching out of comics, because I just mainly knew comics, and then I started seeing his stuff, and I'm like, this is insane, and also, like I said, Geiger, stuff like that. So
and Jason is right. He says you got a really cool art style, unique style, reminds me of metal version of Sam Keith. And this is why I had I put Iron Maiden up there, because if you look at the Iron Maiden album cover, right, you can see some of that influence. That style that I love, that got me into.
And I don't. I'm contradictory to a lot of metalheads, I guess, but I'm not an Iron Maiden fan. But those album covers are undeniable.
Yeah,
like Eddie is an iconic figure of metal. You can I
Iron grew Maiden, up drawing him, bro.
He's just a figurehead of the metal scene in general. Like, I don't know any metalhead that doesn't know who Eddie is. They may not even know who Iron Maiden is, but they know who Eddie is. Yeah.
Question: What about the art?
Sorry, Tim, go on.
What about the artist Pushhead? Have you ever heard of him? Famous
Pushhead? No, I'm unfamiliar with Pushhead.
Metallica, Misfits.
Oh yeah, of course. Fuck. Pusshead. Okay. Yeah, you say Pusshead. We say Pusshead.
Oh, Pusshead. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Pusshead. We know Pusshead.
I know the name. I know the name. You may have to show some samples of something.
It's all. Pusshead was doing all the and I was doing his style as well, because this is the same time that I got into metal. I got into Iron Maiden, AC/DC, ZZ Top, and then there was a switch in my life, and it was Megadeth, and I was about 87, 88, and that was it. I never looked back on any, on regular radio music.
Like the album covers for Death are just awesome. They're so graphic and horrific, but still amazing. And this is all before computer generated images, so everything was done by hand. Now you could involve, other techniques, obviously, but it was all traditional techniques. Yeah, so highly impressive. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, let me bring it up. It's just like jump to like my tab open somewhere, but here it is. We've got it. So I said, these are all my early art school, right? Not that I was going to art school, but this is my school of art by metal, right? By metal album covers.
Okay,
this is from Megadeth, not Megadeth, Metallica. Yeah. So I had T-shirts of this shit.
Do you still have the T-shirts?
No, like everything disappeared in '96 in my life, like 95, 96.
That is a shame.
My entire collection,
Oh,
bro.
dude, that's an iconic image right there.
Yeah,
In-
my
in the
entire
movie.
collection of everything I owned prior to '96 is gone. All my
That
Megadeth
sucks.
albums, vinyl tapes, cassettes, music, T-shirts, everything, bro. Of course, Suicidal. I didn't realize he did for Suicidal Tendencies, but this is the album.
Oh, that's cool.
cover.
Yeah.
I think it's not.
Well, the album covers
concept.
like also a KMFDM, or
Yeah.
kind of a little like this, I guess, but not.
Yeah, so Pushead was doing a lot of good shit out there.
Yeah.
Iconic, right? For Metallica, it was iconic for that scene. Iconic. Misfits, right?
Yeah, and that once again, they kind of go hand in hand. That gritty,
Yeah.
I don't know, crosshatchy, but just dark shadows, obviously skulls and all that fun stuff and zombies, but
Yeah.
like just that less refined appeal goes toward, at least towards the punk and metal scene. Like it just does. Even now with AI and computer generated stuff, they still do that. Like they still lean into because
my apologies. I had to look at the spelling of the name. It's weird because Puss is Puss, but it's like Pus, and then it's slammed up to the word head. So
No,
like this,
no, yeah. Like I said, I heard the name, but I didn't associate the two for some reason.
Yeah, when you said Pushead, I was like, I don't know that, man. But I know Pushead.
Yeah, I can see why. If it's wedged against it, I could see.
That's missing an S. Yeah, so it's like how
yeah. I mispronounce or misread things constantly. It's like, and dope stuff, and it all plays into that grit, and that's why, like, even growing up, after my art style stuff, and I say growing up like 20s, I mainly hung out with band members, and I did flyers and stuff because they just went hand in hand. They were just what is it? Analytics. Words are hard, but they just went together, and there's a synergy, and plus they wanted flyers, so why not? But and obviously then you grow into other things such as like Alex Gray from with Tool artwork and stuff like that. So I mean there's so many different spectrums you can go, and because metal itself has so many different genres that it just, like, I'm not a big fan of, I call it hair metal, but it's glam metal. But or the hair metal guys even like stuff like that. But
God,
not too big into
metal.
thrash, but I still like groove metal or some hardcore, some new metal. I kind of like the indie stuff. But they still, the art styles that go with those do mesh well perfectly whenever they're doing them. So
I think for me, I got into music because my dad's albums, right? He had Killers, he had Live After Death, the double album. He had Kiss, the double album that wasn't actually live. It was like a bunch of recordings, studio recordings with overdubs of like concerts, right? This is like about 1985. And then and I guess a local friend of mine who was like about 4 years older than me, Dennis, I think he might have passed away, I'm not sure. But he was into ZZ Top, he was into AC/DC. So I was into all that stuff, right? And they had some cool, iconic, covers, but the logos were awesome. Mm-hmm. And logos made me think, man, I can do this. I can do logo designs, and I can also do Iron Maiden art. And so I started doing these grisly friggin' artwork, right? Which is what my first start into being an artist was actually doing for real. Like actually when I felt like this is what I enjoy doing, was doing Iron Maiden, Eddie, doing the Pushead thing with Metallica and Megadeth and whatever else I could look at. Like I had Overkill, and I didn't even realize recently that I actually had one of the first Overkill albums, which was Rotting. can't even remember. But this is like when 1985, bro. That's like 41 years ago, right? Is it 41 years ago?
I'm sure your math is right.
88. I think it was 88. I think it was 88 when I got that album. But like, you know, there was some freaking amazing work that was coming out from these people back then for the album art, right? Because if your artwork is if you're a metal band and your album art looks like shit, forget anybody looking at it, unless they already know you and are following you.
Like introduce you to their sound, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you gotta have a great album cover. Otherwise, you know, even the logo, right? It's like it's part and parcel of being a metal band is to have a good album cover and a logo.
That is one reason why I can't get into like the Norwegian death metal stuff. It's not so much the sound. Like I'm not that big into the vocals there as it is. The music's great, but I can't read the freaking band. I'm sorry. If you can't read the band name to look them up, to find them, I don't get the appeal. I understand people are like, oh, the harder it is to read, the heavier it is. Like I listen to plenty of heavy music that's probably heavier than what they are, but even sounds slower and stuff. Like heavy isn't just like you can't understand the vocalists because their gutturals are so crazy, and there's just a constant double bass throughout the entire thing. Like there's other metal, like you could still have heavier metal than that. Now I'm not saying it's not metal. I'm not saying that at all. But I just don't understand that philosophy. I'm like, okay, if I want to listen to Obituary, and I don't even like, I've never read the name before, and I see it on the thing, I don't know, like, what band is this? I kind of like them. Oh, I don't know what this says, so I can't look them up. Great job, guys. Like, yeah, the logos are neat. They should be slightly legible. I'm not saying they need to be perfectly, but legible enough that you could find it online nowadays, especially. Yeah, I understand back in the day, different story.
From what I understand is that the whole idea is to keep the posers out of that scene, right?
Yeah.
So if you only know the band if you know them, you know, already. So the logo doesn't mean shit. The name of the band doesn't mean shit. It's the music, and so you know you got to know the band for the music, and because then the name doesn't mean anything. But like if you look at
ZZ Top, is two Z's.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone knew that. You saw those two. You're like, oh, ZZ Top. Okay, you know, like I'm sorry, like it just you want that kind of a recognition. People are like, oh, that's cool. I like it. You know, it's dope. I don't know that whole only the people in the know. It's like, well, you're not going to really get a good fan base. And in that case, you're not going to make money. And if you're not going to make money, you're not going to make more albums. And then you're not going to make more music unless you work a full-time job like a lot of people do. If you want it to be your career, you better have a legible band name. So, yeah.
Well, it's really, I mean, it is kind of like that whole gatekeeping thing out, right? It's like gatekeeper poses out. So you look at this here, right? With Overkill. Why did it go smaller than it was like before? So this is like an 89, I think I got this. And it just looks so cool, right? This is their bat skull symbol, Years of Decay. And the music's heavy. It's like thrash speed. And now it's like the most kind of like the metal sound now is to be, guttural, right? Is to be like they used to be way back 89. It's like, yo, you guys aren't like new, right? You guys are not new. It's just you're just reinventing what is already there. So, but the classic sound is always going to live, right? It's always going to stand. And I think, I never kind of like dismiss people's like in music anymore, and I haven't for decades because I remember when I was a young kid and Dad used to go, well, that's bad music, son. You should be listening to it. Yet, and I'm listening to Metallica's cover of My Mother Was a Witch. I'm Evil, right?
Yeah,
and that's not even their own song. It's like a cover, and he goes, you shouldn't be singing that out loud. My mother's a witch, careless little bitch. And I'm like, sorry, Dad. it's not about mom, it's about the song, right?
It's about
So
the-
he was always kind of like anti that hardcore stuff. But me, I'm like, I love this shit. I love things that tell a story, right? And talking about story, you know, how did you get into, you know, we've been talking, you know, talk about art a bit and stuff, influences, but how did you get into deciding to actually come into the storytelling side of, you know, bringing your art into that? How'd you get all started?
Well, like I said, comics, like it just, we were younger. We were at like young, like I can't remember whatever my first issue ever got was Thor 411. So whatever year that was, I think it was 88, or somewhere 88 or 90, somewhere in there. We got a comic book. So that's, and we got me and my brothers, we got comics at a grocery store where they were handing out comics for every amount of money you spent on groceries. So, and ever since then, we just were collecting, and it just, the bug was bit. And I had two older brothers. The one wanted to be a writer. The other one wanted to be an artist. I kind of looked up to the artist one. And so I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to do what he does. So that's how the art side got into everything too. So we're also reading the comics and like, oh, I want to make my own character and tell my own little fun little stories. And you're a crappy artist growing up. So, you know, they all look terrible, but it just was, it's always been there. And I did get out of I didn't really get out of the want to make comic books, but I just grew up, and you know, with the metal scene, you're hanging out with other people, and you're experiencing life. And I just kind of got out of comics in general, just because I stopped buying them. I was just I was too active doing things and hanging out with, you know, artists, and then with music friends. And then I got into stuff, you know, like I said, you know, like the Derek Hess, and you know, just looking at the cool art stuff in that scene, and making flyers for them. And then I saw artists like Jonathan Wayshak, who's not a traditional comic artist to begin with, you know, and I always forget his name. Tim, maybe you can remind me who he is. He did the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas type stuff. I always forget his name. Ralph Stegman, you know, stuff like that. So it all just, and then I'm like, I got back into comics a few years later, because I was in, there you go. Yeah. That was my first comic book ever. I still have it, signed by Ron Friends.
All right.
Yeah. He's going to be at Heroes Con this year too. So I might take a couple more books.
You keep showing that one drawing you did that I thought was really cool.
I opened Photoshop, and that's when I have up. So
yeah. I just thought it just reminds me so much of what my cousin likes to do, who works, I guess he works in video games, designing characters and such. He's only done one comic, and he did one for Heavy Metal Magazine because they asked him to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good example, Heavy Metal Magazine.
I
mean, they titled it with the gritty artwork. You know what I mean? So that's a perfect example right there. So yeah, but so I got back. I never lost the love for comic books. Like even when I was in college, I went to college don't ever go to art college, people out there. Just don't. I thought if you went to art college, you get the degree, the company's like, oh, you got a degree, you know what you're doing, we'll hire you. And that's a big lie. So, but either way, yeah, exactly, man. But I was still buying some comics here or there in art school, in art college. And then after I got out of there, long story, came back home, and just was like, all right, I'm going to start buying comics again and see what's going on. Sadly, it was around 2012 when the fit was hitting the shan. So yeah, exactly. I came back in at a rough point, but needless to say, there's still some good artwork out there and stuff like that. The stories may not have been the best, but you know, you still you had some great artists, even old, coming back and stuff. So, and then I found the crowdfunding scene, and I'm like, all right, well, you know, I have a comic idea. I didn't know I can go this route. Even my store manager was like, you should try Kickstarter or Indiegogo or something. I'm like, all right, man, I guess that's a good idea. So, but that's how the art kind of got injected back into the comic style format, because I was out for a long time, and I was always doing like stuff like this, and just like those throughout the past, like, you know, I'd say 10 to 15 years that I got out of comics. And I was doing stuff like this and flyers for bands, local bands, obviously. I only got offered to do, they're kind of, they're international. They're Dog Fashion Disco, Polka Dot Cadaver. They're really good. They're like metal. They're like metal with horns and like if you like Mr. Bungle and you like Faith No More and you like Acid Bath and like you name it, like they do it. So, but a guy did hit me up. The guitarist hit me up asking if I wanted to do a few things, but it never went anywhere.
Right.
I just so busy doing comic books, I didn't really get back to him as often as I probably didn't hit the pavement as much as I should on that. But either way, but it all got injected. This stuff then got injected into the comics, and at first I was a little more reserved with Absolute Book 1. If you look at it, you can see my art style there, but I was trying a different thing. I wasn't as busy. And it wasn't until book 2 that I started just injecting more of it in there because people were just like, this is awesome. You should do this stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll do whatever I want then. And that's all I do really is whatever I want. And Frog G has a lot of it. You know, it has a lot more of my scratchy, you know, zany, like I insert like flowers with eyeballs and teeth and stuff. So like, you know, just cool stuff, you know? And even growing up, like you look at old classic comic books like Doctor Strange and stuff, there's trippy things in there, man. So they were doing so much acid back then. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's how like this art style got injected into what I do now. I grew up with comics and then I grew up with the metal art and I ended up infusing them. And like I said, you know, Sam Keith, Way Shack and all those guys, they're line heavy oriented. And I love doing watercolor and stuff like that, but it's more time consuming. So yeah, I'll generally, that's why I'm fortunate I met Ink Spots because he's influenced by a lot of the same styles I am. And he does put in like the painterly style to my stuff. And it just looks, it's a perfect marriage. It's how I pictured it. So not to say that I can't do his stuff, but I could color my own stuff my way. His way is better. So I got a better dude to do it. But yeah, so I ended up infusing everything into what I'm doing now with the comics. And I still do, like I did this recently. I think the year down there is 2026. So, so yeah, I still do these off and on. The problem is these take a lot of time. These are like free flow art pieces where I don't have any pencil. I just do pen and ink. And so whatever comes out of my head, I put down. There is a time lapse of that one on my channel. So yeah, but you can, like, I started off with the skull guy and I ended up like going from there. So I think I started off with him or I started off with the dude's face. I can't remember, but yeah. So but that's how I got injected into the storytelling. I've always had concepts and ideas and we both have lived life, you know, and you draw inspiration from those moments and those concepts and you inject them and insert them in your storytelling. So, and that's just where it all came from. If I didn't get back into comics, I would probably be trying to break into like doing posters for bands or album art, which I think is kind of good. I got into comics with AI and everything out there. Some bands will probably be leaning towards that. Now, I would hope the metal community wouldn't, but
dude, day aside, they can go to hell.
Are you serious? They're doing AI stuff?
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame because like metal and punk are supposed to be against the grain stuff, against the standard or the quo, and to do things. Yeah. So
let me show you. Give me 1 second. I'll bring it up. But I just want to put out here in the chat. If you guys have any questions for Jason, just ask away, and I'll put up on the screen and ask them. But
like and share, everybody, and subscribe.
You know, I mean, I do use AI for my music, right? So for the backing tracks and stuff.
But you're not trying to sell it.
No, and not only that, I write my own lyrics, and that's one of the things, right? I write my own lyrics. I don't try to steal somebody's melody or shit. I come up with my own sort of like, okay, this is my song. Put something to this according to this. So yeah, Rush. Yeah, Deicide used fucking and that pissed me off because I was like, you guys, right? Seriously, you guys have been around since the friggin' 80s. I know your name from them way back then. I've seen your album covers. You guys, if you just asked, bro, if you just asked anybody to just, can you please do our album cover? They would do it for free. Hell, I would do it for free.
There's probably a lot of people that would. I would think so, yeah.
Just say, oh, man, you know, I'm a fan. Let me do it. Here's a piece. You know, come check it out. You know, let me know if you like it or not, right? So they put out this. Let me pop out of there. to the right screen, and they're performing. You know, they did a whole. No, they come back live, and there was like this whole black metal, death metal thing that just happened. Concert that happened, and you know, this is from 1990, right? Okay, so you look at that from 1990, and where the hell's the rest of it? Do they have more? Maybe it's this one here. No. Man, I hate these. Sometimes when you look at, sometimes Wikipedia does everything and then sometimes does nothing. So let me see if I can find it on here. It is, where's the AI shit? So there was this, it just looked like crap, bro. Yeah, this, right? Hold on, it is. So let me open. No, it doesn't want to open on its own. Okay, so this is it here. Let's get to it. And I was just like disappointed, right? Because metal, like I said, metal album covers, you know, is where, you know, is the be all and end all of like people discovering who you are. And then you want to go and do like AI as a metal, you know, band. And, you know, everybody was like, what even are you trying to do now, right? With the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, to me, if you want to use it for a reference and then have the artist be like, hey, can you draw something like this for me? Or paint something like this for me?
Yeah, concept ideas. Yeah.
Conceptual ideas. Yeah, exactly. And that
using it as a tool.
Using it as a tool, I'm for. And I can understand maybe, let's say, Deicide was one person and they do everything themselves. They don't want anyone else to touch it. Yeah. Okay, fine then. But they're not. And they obviously have outsourced to do artwork before. They are about paying and helping, you know, other people get into the scene or their stuff shown. And then you're like, oh, but I'm Deicide. I'm maybe not as big as you know, Black Sabbath. So today anyway, and now so I'm gonna do it myself and save some money. Like you're cutting costs where you shouldn't, in my opinion. And then it ends up looking back on your fans because not all of them, but quite a lot of them will be like, "What are you doing? Like, I don't like that." Yeah.
Right. So this guy here, right? So this is what they put out AI, and this guy says here, Billy Foyth, original post that goes, this is 2 years ago. After being a bit annoyed by big bands using cheap AI to build their covers, I set myself down last night, gave myself a rough time limit of 5 hours and a take on the Banished by Sin cover, which is what he's talking about here, this AI shit. And then he goes, of course, it's not as highly detailed and clean as it would be with more time, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the result of my pettiness in comparison. What do you think? So you look at that. He drew this. I would rather buy that album cover and be happy with it than to look at that.
The other one is just if that one looks too, I don't know. The other one's grittier. Like it's darker. It's menacing. The other one has it's just too, it pops too much.
This took the guy 5 hours a lot.
That's not bad.
You know, as an artist to do. Yeah. He said, I could have done it better if I had more time, but I just gave him my 5 hours, right? Yeah. Because, you know, and then the guy goes, you know, and he goes, oh, you drew it. I thought it was another AI version. Looks cool. Yeah. Did you draw it on paper or tablet? Tablet. On paper would have been way longer, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. So this is the thing, right? I mean, the guy just did it because he just did it. Because he was like, man, why are you doing AI? And they could have said, they could have friggin' said, this is what we're looking for. Can you go do it?
Well, exactly it's what he did it with. Like Tim said, he used that as the concept and he drew it. And you know, and that's what you got. And it looks like straight out of like Dracula. Like that could be the cover for a Dracula book. That's sick.
Oh, hell yeah.
One,
I mean, like,
it's fine, but
Tim was just saying about like how, you know, using AI to do concept art, right? So I do that with my guys as well. Like, you know, I go, hey, here's an idea. Here's what I'm thinking in my head. I need to get it onto paper for you, right? So I'll go, well, have a look at this. What do you think? Let me see if I can find this little.
Well, I've done it for like if I don't feel like going on Google to sift through 4,000 photos, I'll just go and Grok
Yeah.
Imagine, type in whatever I want, and it'll pull up a whole bunch of like examples. Like, oh, well, that one's perfect, and that's the pose I was looking for, and I can use that as a loose interpretation of what the angle I wanted of whatever it may be. So it's a very useful and resourceful tool for a tool. Like or like even making an AI song to put in your video for your intro for YouTube, or as your background music because you don't want to get a copyright strike. It's a very useful tool. Selling it to the masses, even if you're selling it, you don't tell people it's AI. I think is shady and they don't know
Exactly.
Like, I think that's just deplorable.
Yeah, that's why I always go like, hey, it's like for my music, like that I'm creating. I just go, look. I write the lyrics. I use prompts, but nothing to do with anybody else's prompts. I don't go do it like Metallica, right? Do it like Megadeth. No, just give me sludge, give me grunge, give me thrash metal, give me speed. That's it. And this is the RPM. And then to everybody else, go use it. It's on SoundCloud.
Well,
do whatever you want.
Not only that, they could have. What they could have done also was go on X, just type in, dark art and look for a random person like, oh, I really like that. I'll pay you to use that. Yeah. Like they didn't even have to, like, you don't even have to commission anybody at this point. Most people have so much catalog built up. So it's pretty like, and in today's age we have the world, like you two we're all in totally different areas.
I'm in New Zealand right now.
Yeah. So I'm saying you have the world at your fingertips, all the artists at your disposal, and you do that. Like that's I don't know. I don't like it.
But the whole thing is that like even with that Jason, with me I'm like, bro, you could have asked anybody who's a fan. Dude, can you we're looking at a new album cover. Here's a concept that we got. We don't have that much money because it's just getting back into the whole music scene after so long. Look, how about we give you 10, 20 cents per album sold, right? Or even 5 cents per album sold, and that'll go towards your commission, right? Is that okay? Do up a contract, bro. And instead, they put out a freaking fake AI shit, right? That then makes everybody hate them for it, even their own freaking fans, because you can't be out here selling music and using AI to sell that music.
Right. I would be very upset if I bought the latest Crowbar album and he's like, yeah, we used the AI for the bass and guitar on this. I'd be like, man. Like, I'd be so bummed out. I'd be like, what are you kidding me? I'd be like, I don't want to buy it then,
Yeah. The worst thing is now that everybody's like, they're doing tutorials on how to play music, and it's actually AI videos, and it's not actually them playing. And it's like, bro, that's
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Funny thing was, I didn't post it at all ever, but I wanted to see what happened. Because I take photos of me like drawing to post on X, like just of my still image in my hand. People like that kind of thing to see the process as a still photo. I did put it in Grok Imagine and just to have it, and it does animate me drawing it. I'm like, that's pretty low. I'm like, that's pretty cheap. Like, I can just film myself drawing it, which is what I usually post anyway. But you can do that though. But if I were to like do this, like, hey, and post a photo of me in Grok Imagine, I could be like, oh, have this person look like they're drawing this, and it'll do it, and it'll look convincing to a lot of people. Yeah, it's pretty low. It's pretty low. Yeah.
The thing that I think a lot of people understand is that you can negotiate with artists, what you want them to do according to what you can afford, right? There are many artists around the world right now, which, the artists are always looking for, commission work, right? Hey, commissions are open. Just ask me, tell me, find, figure out what you want. Give me some ideas. Hey, even if you want to like do a mock-up of AI to get that concept so I can understand where you're going with this. And then I can have a look at that and I'll draw you about 3 different little tiny sketch figure mock-ups and you decide what you want. Right. And then I'll set the price for you. how long it's going to take, right?
Yeah.
And it's easy fucking dude. It's an easy world right now to work in to get artists to work for you. All you got to
And
do is find
if you can't afford
someone
it,
is
you can be
real.
like, if you can't afford it either, you're like, okay, well, if you draw me an album cover, or you got I'll do like a 4 minutes, instrumental for you for your next YouTube video. Like you can bargain with people. My first trailer for my first book, I had my friend that I did album covers for. I had him do the music just because he could do all of it on his computer, but I had him do the music for it. And I mean, I paid him regular cash, but still, I worked for him. I even told him, like, I could draw something for you if you want. And I told him, anytime you need anything, let me know. But you can still trade artwork for, you could trade your trade, So that's the great thing about having this at your disposal.
Well, see, when I started creating comic books, I couldn't afford like really expensive artists, so I had to do what I call bargain shopping. Like, first thing I ask is, well, what are your rates? And then I see if I can actually budget that, which actually has done me pretty well.
Yeah, and that's a smart way to go about it. If you can't afford whatever the rates even are, you can be like, all right, well, I'll write a short story for you, or prose, or I'll write your YouTube descriptions. They're a pain to do. I will do it for you. Like, you can always find a way to trade something. Worst case, they could say no. Like, and then you find someone else. But yeah, exactly, Tim. You could just barter with them and bargain with them and find out what works. But nowadays it's sad because I could just go on Copilot and have it write my YouTube description if I want to, or I can have it write my next script, or have it draw my next flyer. Like it's kind of hard to do it with comics these days, but.
I'm the one thing that people know that I won't do is have AI or write stories for me, because I'm a fucking I am a jealous motherfucker, bro.
It also sounds like AI wrote it though.
Not even that. I am so jealous of anybody ever getting credit for the work that I've done. Not even AI. I'm like,
it's your work. You invested your time into it. Yeah, you want to put your time into it because you invested your time into it. Yeah. Well, now I can understand putting it in there for a spell check or grammar check real quick,
right?
Before shooting it to an editor, even, or a proofreader. That's fine too. But because here's the other thing, like if like Frog G, he says jive turkey and all this stuff like crazy. But what if we actually like spell it differently on purpose, and an AI program is not going to know that? It's just going to fix it. So
I had that with one of my foreign artists, and he was reading it through. I think you spelled it wrong. I said, no, that's how it's spelled. That's how I want it spelled, right? And so I think, well, the thing is, like, if I'm expecting someone to pay money for something I'm creating, I want to be able to say I created it.
Right.
It's a swapping of commerce for work, right? Money for work. So if you're backing my book, a human being has taken time out to do that drawing, or color that book, and with me writing it, lettering it, putting it all together. Because otherwise, well, you're paying in something that didn't do something, right? You're paying someone that didn't do something. So for me, if I'm paying for music, then that band has to have created that music.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
and it's got to be, if I'm paying for art, then I got to know that you did that art. Otherwise, why am I backing it? Why am I giving you money? Because I work, it's my money, right? I don't want to have to give you my money if you didn't do the work for my money.
And not just that, it's kind of hard to go see Gemini play live in stage. You know what I mean? Like, if AI Gemini did the music, when you go see him perform, like people love going to live performances, and they're actually getting even bigger now, I think, because of AI. A lot of bands aren't going out, and it's just like live stream drawing, or discussions about writing topics and stuff like that. People are very interested in seeing it now because they're like, well, a computer can do it. It's like, yeah, but I'm a human and I can do it different, and in my opinion, better. So it's more creative. I don't know. I understand it's pulling from everything. It's like, yeah, but you're pulling from yourself. And that's more of a genuine experience. It's more of a relatable experience in that regard too, because it's a singled one. So yeah.
There is this whole outpouring of emotion, creativity, spirituality that comes from actually, creating something as an artist that you do, as a creator that you do, that, people can say, oh yeah, AI can do that, but there's no spirit in that. What AI is taking is from everybody else's spirit, right? Everybody else's creation and putting out there. That's why I feel that if you're going to use AI, use it as a tool. That's it.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And that's whatever you want to need it for, just use it as a tool, right? You want to create a melody, hum a melody, get it to do it, and then, go and come up with a tune. Because especially if you're going to sell it, right? If you're going to sell it, if you're going to do a dollar amount to whatever you're putting out there, it's got to come from you, or just don't even bother about, selling it. Because why would anybody want to pay for money that isn't from you? Like, you didn't put your work into it.
And sadly, you have the people that are almost like plagiarists in a way, where they try to pass off the AI or whatever as their stuff. And you don't know any better. Like, dude, I mean, honestly, if I were to walk down Artist Alley and I see that sitting at a table in front of a person, I'm going to assume they did it. Like, I honestly am terrible at recognizing AI art. Unless you tell me it's AI art, I probably won't know. I'm not that good at it. Now, my friends are really good at it. They've spotted a mile away almost. But once again, I'm legally blind, so I have a lot of harder time actually seeing most things. But that's beside being the point. But if I'm just a regular person walking down Artist Alley and I see something like that, I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope, and I buy it, thinking that the person sitting there did it because that's why they're there. And then you find out, oh, they didn't do it. I could have just put this into why did I buy this? Like, I don't understand why I even paid money for it at that point. It loses all meaning once you announce this was done by a computer, and I don't mean Photoshop. So yeah.
Well, the thing is that a lot of it is that nowadays parents are buying gifts. Kids are buying it, and they see this cool art. Cute art. Oh, this is good. I'll buy this for my daughter, for a birthday or present or whatever, or my niece or nephew, whatever, or for my son, whatever. And they spend hundreds of dollars on it. And then they go home and the kid goes, Mom, that's AI. Mom feels, or dad feels ripped off. Kid feels like their parents don't know the difference, right? And they're, stupid. And the parents feel stupid because they just got ripped off. And these people out here are doing it every day on purpose for this, to rip the people off. And it's quite sad because, I think it's getting, the problem is that this work is getting better and better, right? AI, I mean. It's like it's becoming unrecognizable. And give it another 2 years, nobody would know the difference, right? And early on, people were like, oh, and I've got a problem with people going, make my music sound like Megadeth. And I'm like, or Blackpink, or K-pop, or Japanese band, and I'm like, bro, what's the point of it all then? It isn't Megadeth that I want Megadeth doing Megadeth.
That's what I was about to say.
That's the only music I want.
Sound like Megadeth is like, why I could go listen to Megadeth. How about it sound like you with a Megadeth influence? Yeah. Like, that's different. Like, this is me with a Way Shack influence. This is me with a Sam Keith influence. Like, it's still me. If you put this next to those two guys, you could tell all three of us apart, like, without a doubt. But you could see the influence. It's there. So it's just like writing. You could tell, like, oh, this person's a big Chris Claremont fan. Or, this person really likes Kurt Vonnegut, like if you are well read in those things and you understand the writing process and how it goes, you could identify those markers, but you can still identify the person that did it. It's a fingerprint, pretty much. It's a voice. And using AI just totally destroys that because I want it to sound like this. Well, then I'm just going to go listen to that then. Like, I don't. Yeah. Do you want to zoom in that artwork a bit more, please, Jason? So people can see the details there. Tim, you got any questions or any suggestions, input?
Oh, I was just thinking, if you're writing a script and you had AI generate a script, and then you rewrote that script because that was generally what you're wanting. Is that the same thing, or is that? I'm kind of throwing out a hypothetical there.
I'm too jealous, bro. I wouldn't even go that far. I'm like, no, don't even take, because I tried that. Honestly, I did try that in the early days when it was like about maybe 3 years ago. I put one of my stories in. I said, okay, this is what my idea is, my concept, and it came out with it. And then when I looked at it, and I did it about 2-3 times, right? And I was like, this feels soulless. Everything is it reads like Hollywood. It's like a by the numbers story, even though what I had in mind was going to be totally different. What it put out was like a by the numbers thing. And I have a film background, right? I've studied for 3 years a filmmaker, digital filmmaker, and so I've studied on the Hollywood way. So I know how to recognize the Hollywood way. And all the AI was doing was taking my story and giving me exactly the Hollywood way. And it couldn't, and I don't like writing the Hollywood way, you know, and it's like, it gave me the Hollywood way. I'm like, no. And now I don't even feel like putting that story out there now. And it's like, it sits there to do nothing.
Yeah, I can see like there's kind of a bounce off to that though, because if let's say you put it in, it writes something, you're like, okay, I like what it did here, but I'm going to rewrite this area to where it was going. Because at that point, it's just like me and Tim then having a conversation about a concept and then bouncing back and forth. But if you don't have any friends and you have nobody, that's actually not a bad tool to use then as a sounding board to like,
if you rewrite the whole thing though,
you kind of almost rewrite the whole thing, but it's giving you suggestions, you know, like, oh, well, you know, what if the bank robber actually jumped out the window instead of like went down a rope? You're like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I kind of like, oh, he jumps out the window, but he actually has on like I don't know, like a balloon suit and he bounces on the, oh, I like to jump out the window. Like, it's no different than expanding upon what you want. And maybe if you're like, look, I want to write a comic about a Native American war, and it starts giving you some ideas like, oh, I'm going to insert some I'm going to insert the Texas Rangers here. That'll be cool. What if I do that? I'm going to ask you, what would you think? How do you think it would work if I did? Oh, that's cool. And now you're working back and forth almost with another person, but it's not
right. So that becomes like as a sounding board, as a tool, right? It's basically,
and then you're using it as a tool. You're not using its script and just doing it. You're actually like altering it, you're manipulating it, and you're making it yours. And to me, then it's still, I would say some people would still be very much against it because it's not the total human experience, but the human element is at least there. So I can understand, like I said, if you're a very lonely individual, if you're like the Unabomber and you don't, he didn't use technology at all though, but you still have nobody. Okay, you know, do what you can at your disposal, I guess. You know, like I use magnifiers. I use my phone to zoom in on stuff. If I can't see, I use Photoshop to zoom in to draw. I use what I can because of my hindrances. So if you're a lonely person, you have nobody, use it, Grok to see if they can help you out. I guess, you know. So yeah.
Well, at this point, like
disclaimer, I'm not a lonely person, folks.
Yeah.
Well, you're here with us, so no.
Well, at this point, then you're using the AI as a sounding board, right?
Right.
It's no longer just you write my story, buddy. You know, here's my concept, write it for me, which a lot of people do, right? There's like people who actually have done that and have to use other people's work to use AI. Go here, take this book and just change the characters and then sell it on Amazon as a new book under a new name.
And the other thing is you're shooting out like, okay, what if Wolverine fought Absolute Batman? Not that's your idea. And then it gives you the script. And then now I can say you're just like, write me a comic. And then it writes you a comic. You're kind of cheating them in that point and using it maliciously, I would say. I at least have the concept, I would say. And then be like, okay, but I just don't know how to start it. Or I don't know where to go. Because even if, like, I'm an artist. Let's say I can't write, and I don't want to. I can't afford an artist, a writer at all. Nobody will trade with me. Nobody will do anything. All right. Well, it can at least help me write the start of it, and I can get going from there and manipulate that and use it. But as long as it's my concept and my idea, I could see that at least being a good platform and diving board to go off of for people.
Or you got writer's block or something.
or you got writer's block. Exactly. Perfect point. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
I
and
would suggest actually what a lot of people do is go for a walk, but yeah, because I heard a lot that helps a lot. I don't know. I've never done. I'm not.
I just put on a movie, anime, or something
That'll
to
help
just take
too.
me out
Yeah.
of the
Well, and
yeah
other people have their tricks and trades, but if you just
yeah.
can't get there, yeah, put it into a freaking perplexity and see what it comes up with. Here's another thing: be like, okay, give me 5 different scenarios where this I can expand on this, and
Yep.
then that way you could kind of maybe even combine all of them or manipulate it or twist it to your own. So, yeah, if
Yeah.
you have writer's block, I can understand using it then in that regard. So, yeah.
I always say, like, if you got writer's block, write 3, 4 different, 4, 5, a couple of different stories, or that as a back burner, have it there. So if you get stuck with one, just go start writing another one, and then while you're trying to do that, your brain starts going, "Oh, now, yeah, I can go back and write that." You get suggestions in your brain. I think, like,
yeah.
you. The other thing is, a lot of people want to like just stay on that one story, and that kind of is the cause of writer's block. I think when you just stay that one thing, one item, this is all I'm going to do. Do a couple of little short stories or some shit out the side. Go draw on paper for a bit, because when you get clogged up, the reason you've got writer's block, I think, in my opinion, is you've got too much things going on in your head at the same time. So when you're distracting yourself with something else, you get clarity later. Now, there's a question here from Russ here going, he asks us, how long does it take you, Jason, to finish a highly detailed inked art piece?
If he means like this one, did it jump over? No, hold on. Come on.
I think it was just
just
inked, not colored, just the
right.
piece.
Hold on. Let me get to the window.
You're good.
Like,
you can
something like this, like this one. Because I work on them. I don't work on them straight. I do work on them off and on.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours, I would say. And that's a loose guess. I don't really time them ever, because I just put on some music and I just go, and it could be 3 hours, on the skull itself, and then another 20 minutes just on the hand, like real quick.
Yeah.
It all depends on what I'm working on. I would say anywhere between those time frames. Now, I have done stuff like this, really fast at a smaller scale. I generally don't work small. I work 11 by 17 usually, but yeah. So I would say 15 to 20 is a fair guess. If it's, I do sometimes, I have pieces that are like 18 by 24. You're looking at a few days, because those are all pen and ink, and then I do watercolor on those too. Sadly, I don't have them. They're on my travel drive, so I don't have them in the computer right now. But they're on the travel hard drive. But yeah, so yeah, that's a rough guess for stuff like this. Like a comic page, it all depends. But if it's a couple, let's say 4 panels, I would say I could crank one out in anywhere between 4 to 8 hours. Like I can work pretty quick. It depends, depending on what the context is, obviously. Like I've worked on some frog pages for a few days, just because like I only have so much time after work, obviously. So, but I would say like I've done. There's been a couple frog pages where I'm like, this is taking me like 12 hours, like 18 hours. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Right.
Then I have some where I bang them out in like 4. Just because it was just I don't know. Sometimes you get in the zone too. But yeah. Yeah, I'm fairly quick actually for being blind, but also just in general, I'm pretty quick. I see a lot of people do draw streams, and it's like, oh, dude, I'm so tense. I'm like, please put the line down. Please put the line fit. I don't know. I mean, they're really good, and that's why they're really good, is because they're taking their time and they're very technically perfect. Like their technique is amazing, but I'm like, oh, just hurry up, you're killing me. So yeah, but that is another reason why it's also so scratchy. It's because I'm going so fast. Yeah,
but that's the start, right? Because we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I look at your work, I don't want you to do like if I'm acting, if I come to you and I go, hey, I need a piece of Wolverine, I don't, and I want you to do something like this, or even my character, right? I'm not going to ask you to do a freaking DC Jim Lee style, right? I'm going to ask you for your style. I'm going to give me a Jason BASCOM version of my werewolf, right? of my Howler comic. You know, give me this piece here. I don't want you to do something else. And I've had people come and go, and I've been, one of my friends was asked, hey, can you do this and this stuff? I'm like, and he looks at me and goes, bro, afterwards he goes, then why come to me?
Yeah.
Go to them.
Exactly, dude. And I've had this discussion with plenty of friends because I hang out with them, and Rush is one of them. I hang out with them in our Discord, like Playgirl and Ink Spots and Billy and Rush. And we're all the same. Like, look, if you want a manga style, don't come to me. Like, I can do it, but why are you doing that? I'm specialized at this. Go to Rushbrook.
Exactly.
Rushbrook will crush it. Like you'll get Joe mad practically. So like if you want something just off the wall, detailed, quick, crazy, amazingly good, go to Dan Plagle. He's fast. He'll knock it out of the park. The gray tones are impeccable. You know, so if you want something a little more like, don't force that other artist to do that style whenever, like, once again, I'm not going to ask a writer to write something that they're not used to writing. It doesn't make any sense to me. I could go, we have the world at our fingertips. I could just put the call out. Like, it's not hard.
Talk about writer being asked to do, you know, writing that he's not into. So when I first came out of film school, which is around about 2007, 2006, I came out of film school, right? And then 2008, I was asked to write a film script, like a feature film script. And this guy was telling me what he wanted and stuff. And I got paid for it. I got paid for the spec script, about $500 New Zealand. It's about at that time was around about maybe 300, 400 US. And I'm like, I do this thing and then he changes it. And I do this thing and he changes it. I'm like, I can't do this anymore, bro. I don't know what you want. You want like a spy thriller with like war aspects, you know, all this stuff. I'm like, that's not me. I can't do that. And then I did another one and I fully did this guy's script and everything, and like comedy, you know, it's sitting there somewhere in my, you know, on my hard drives, completely 90-page film script, bro. And it would have worked and like had all the jokes. And I don't do comedy, right? But I mean, I don't think I do comedy, but there's comedy aspects of my work. But like, it was total drama comedy. It was just on the back end of Bend It Like Beckham. And so it had, you know, it had a different twist in the sports, about a family, not really about the daughter, you know. So I did all that, and I'm like, this is a great script. And the guy goes, no, I don't like it. And I'm like,
oh, jeez,
dude, I just spent 3 years of my life learning how to be a good writer, right? And now I give you exactly what you want, and you only pay me for the spec script, which is $500, right? 300 US. And I completed the entire script, and I think I did it in a month, which is pretty fast, because I really like this, you know, the concept. And so after that, I was like, I'm never writing for anybody again, and I'm just going to do my own shit, because like you're wasting my time. Yeah, you're wasting my time. You know, there's no point me writing scripts for you. But then when somebody comes to me now, and I've done a huge 80-page or 90-page script for another, you know, for a publisher, which is going to be made. And so with that one, it was like, tell me what you want, what's the idea, and then leave it all to me. And that was it. And now, you know, because the more people try to control or ask you for something that you're not good at to do, the worse it feels for you and the worse it feels for them. You know, so if you want a Jim Lee, go Jim Lee. If you can't afford a Jim Lee, go find someone who does it like Jim Lee, right? Yeah. And but if you don't want to pay the Jim Lee prices, don't expect Jim Lee, you know, work
quality.
You know? Yeah.
And that's another reason why a lot of people just get into the self-publishing business as it is anyway.
Yeah.
They're like, look, people are asking me to do the things. Not only do I not like to do, but I'm really not specialized at. You know, and so I'm just going to go ahead and just make what I want at that point and find people who like the things that I like too, and work with them, because it'll make a better product, because they enjoy doing the same thing. So, you know, like I said, like Ink and I work well together because we're influenced and we like the same things, and so we mesh well, like we work well. And I'm fortunate that we do. But all the friends that I hang out with, we have different mindsets, different tastes and everything, but we still have very similar similarities enough as to where we're going to get along. If we want to work on a project, it really won't be as difficult because we're so in tune to each other's similarities. And that's the way to go with the indie scene. But it is important to be flexible too. Like if somebody's going to be like, Jason, we'll pay you $1 million to draw a manga. I'm like, I'm guessing I'm going to learn how to draw a manga then, because I'm not going to turn down that kind of money. But but so, and everybody has a price. I don't care what anyone says, but it helps to be flexible. Like I do love doing this. Like I specialize in this is what I love to do. I can hold back. I can clean it up. I could be tighter. I have to go a digital route if I'm going to be even tighter, but that's just because of my technique. Whenever I'm inking traditionally, even if it's pen and ink or if it's with a felt tip pen, I'm just naturally gritty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is, but in order for me to clean it up, I would have to go digital. But I can at least I know how to do it if I really wanted to. Like, and I'm not a fan of his artwork, but it is a good example. If you look at somebody like Liefeld, I've been told 1,000,000,001 times that guy does know how to draw, and like really good anatomy and everything. I'm like, I have yet to really see it, but I've heard that. But he just likes to draw that style. That's just what he wants to do. And it's fine, dude. Do you? But
Now, before hold on. He's saying it in the wrong place, but he'll set it right. But let me just read this from Russ. For artist block, I try to learn something new, like a new coloring method or something to get out of the block. I find that learning something new helps. Yeah. Even just get a freaking piece of paper and start doodling away. That's how I started getting into art, right? Just sitting there in class all day long, just doodling away, trying to do another friggin' Eddie from I Made and my version of it, right? And it's just friggin' awesome, like seeing this work that you got on the screen, bro. I love all aspects of sequential art and art, right? They come, illustrations and stuff. And I don't look at one and go, oh, that's better than the other one. I look and I go, man, that's a great technique. That's a great style. That's awesome in its own thing. Then I look at something else. Go, oh, that's a great technique. That's awesome. That's a great style in its own thing, So it's like there's people who out here who want to go, well, the only right way is the Marvel or DC way. Well, sorry, we're not Marvel or DC way here. We're just doing art because we love it. It's our passion.
And I like my friend Hockey and I, we do that Wednesday night show, Bowler and Beer. We've been reviewing comics lately, and like one of the things, for one, and I know it's a cliche thing, but like the absolute line that they're doing really well is they're matching the artist with the colors perfectly along with the story. Like it all, like I can't picture Absolute Batman drawn in any other way. I can't picture Absolute Wonder Woman done another way. It looks like how it should be in that format. They're done really well. Marvel, they have, like, if you look at the Incredible Hulk, there's the Infernal Hulk, the Nick Klein one. That's how the Hulk should be done, like that for that storyline. Or if you look at Moon Knight, is done really well too. We've been looking at that. There are some standouts in the big two that are standing out, but they're standing out because the style is different from the other thing of the same of that company. It's not a house style. It's like there's nothing wrong with house style. I get it; it's serviceable and it works, but you need to have different voices, both visually and written, in order to really, just let the other ones sell. You know what I mean? So,
is this who you're talking about, Nick Klein?
Oh, dude, Nick Klein's so good. Yeah,
right. So this is the Infernal Hulk. Like I don't read mainstream comics. I haven't bought any for about I think 3 years. And if I have, it's probably from a hospice, like a secondhand shop. But I just don't read mainstream comics anymore because, and it's just it's more to do with like having to sit down and read, but it's that whole idea. I have shelves and containers full of comics that I haven't even read yet.
I mean, I've read most of those, but I still have plenty. There's probably several long boxes filled with stuff I read. Yeah. And you're right. Sitting down. The other problem is, like, when we were younger, that was easy to do. Sit down and read a comic. Like you have
Yeah.
nothing else to do. But now we all have projects. Like you got Melvin, you got PlungeComics going on. I got like I do 3 things at once pretty much. We have a lot of us have full-time jobs on top of it. There's no time anymore. So like Hockey and I will read we'll read one book a week, and whether it's a continuation from something or something new. And the whole reason we're doing it is because I just can't believe the internet sphere of the moniker that all mainstream is garbage. I just can't believe it because it's just not true. And but that's why I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I'm just saying
no.
That's why
Jason,
we read one a week, to see if it's true. So,
but Jason, people who say that is people who actually don't read them.
They're not reading them.
They're not reading them, and
they're
repeating
what they hear online. Yeah, that's all they're doing. They're repeating what they hear online. And like Hockey and I've been reading them. I would say so far there's maybe 2 or 3. There's definitely 2 that were just garbage, and but there's most of them are either that was a decent comic, and there's been a few where like I started collecting Moon Knight because of it. I liked it so much I started going to buy it. I wasn't initially collecting it, so but I have pulled I have a pull at the comic shop. I've cut that down because of cost, and like you said, I can't really read them all the time. So I have cut that, and I'm just we're all just so busy. But we do love the medium. We grew up with it, So just because we don't buy it doesn't mean we still don't love it.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on 7 projects, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Where's the time?
I'm working on 7 projects. I don't have the time, but when I do, I will just play a visual novel game, right? And that's reading. That's 90% of visual novels is reading, right?
Yeah, it is.
So I'm like reading the screen. So the more I think in my only particular, and this is why, and Tim will back me up, we don't talk about comics and movies and shit we don't read here, right? We don't talk about them because we don't read them. If we don't read them, then we're not going to talk about them. But if we do read them and then we watch them, then we'll talk about them because then we have an insight.
Or you'll talk about stuff you both have read in the past that you love so much. Like, go ahead, Tim. Yeah, sorry.
Or
And exactly my point. Or even with music, like you're not going to sit there and bet. Like I don't really like the new Deftones stuff. I just don't. It's not.
I can't get into it.
I just don't like it. But I at least gave it a try. I at least went out and listened to some of it, and I'm like, I like adrenaline. I like, I like White Pony. I like Around the Fur. I like that era of Deftones. The newer stuff. It's too artsy for me. I'm not a fan.
I can listen to Minima all day long.
There you go.
Around the Fur, White Pony all day long. Any of the new stuff? No, I can't. It's like I can listen to Metallica all the way up to Injustice, and after that, nothing matters. After that, nothing matters. After that, I can listen to all the original stuff. After with Black and the whatever comes after that, I can smash it all day long and throw it in the rubbish bin.
Well, and not just that. It's not to say that. Like the thing is, like it's not that it's bad. It's just it's not the Metallica you liked. Other people love it, and it's still they're still really talented musicians. It's just they're not doing the style that you like. It would be like me switching my style then to a cleaner style. People may not like it, but if I like it
anymore. Rah.
Give me God, give me gee, give me goo, give me gee, goo, yeah.
But I do shows with Death Metal Hero, who you should have on too. He's
cool guy.
More into stuff. Cool guy. Yeah, he's great. But I like Slipknot. He likes Slipknot up to Iowa. I'm like, dude, no, they have better stuff out there. But the thing is, and I get where he's coming from. It's not the Slipknot he likes. It's not the version. Like they did switch formats, and and admittedly so. But I still love what they're doing. I just do now. I don't love everything they do. Like I'm a big Pantera fan, a big Phil Anselmo fan. I don't love everything Phil does. Like N minor, it's okay. It's fine. I usually skip it if it comes on my phone, but I gave it a shot. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a go. I don't really like Score or Scour or whatever that his death metal band is, but I like Superjoint Ritual. So you don't just because you are a fan of something doesn't mean you have to like the entire catalog. Luke only likes Iowa. I get it. Iowa's heavy. It's awesome. It's a great album. I like some of the stuff afterwards. A lot of it afterwards. That's like, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go here.
Oh no! Go ahead, Tim, please.
All right, I came across.
No, both of you stop and let me talk. I will talk. Shut up, both of you. That's enough. That's enough out of both of you.
Yes,
I think.
yes, Monkey King.
Wait. Just hold on a minute. Just.
That's my sure.
Just hold on a minute.
Want to see me run to that mountain and back? You want to see me do it again?
Yes.
Guys.
Anyway, I came across Geeks and Gamers, post on X, and they're still complaining about the same stuff they've always complained about. And I just commented, "Oh, I really don't care. I really don't."
Yeah, exactly, dude. And exactly, it's all the same rhetoric. It's all the same regurgitation. It's just constant blah blah blah. It's like, you mean to tell me not one thing has changed? Like, not either, whether it be an art or a video game or a comic, the industry itself. Not one thing. Like, you don't like. Okay, I like that at least. Like, it's still the same constant regurgitation. I unsubscribed from so many of those guys just because I'm just tired. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, your complaining doesn't really change anything.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I'm Casey Jones, man. Look at that. That's badass.
That was a fun one. Yeah, it was a sketch cover. That was a fun one.
So there's a war about to start, but I will let the war begin. Jason, is Metallica better than Pantera?
No, please. Yeah, Dimebag beats all of them, let alone. And I'm not that big on the guitar guys, but Phil redefined what metal is. I would say Phil as a frontman is way more influential. Like now,
wait, hold on.
No, Metallica is more influential as far as establishing what metal is. Like you can't really get what you have today without Metallica.
No, not Metallica.
But Pantera is
Dave Mustaine. Dave Mustaine established.
Dave
Mustaine. No, not as a frontman. Not as a frontman. As a guitarist, established what guitar was.
Dude, Dimebag beats Dave Mustaine as a guitarist.
Yeah, but Dimebag had all that time. Anyway, I told you there's gonna be a war.
Dimebag can actually play the guitar while being completely wrecked. Perfectly.
He pretty much couldn't play the guitar unless he was completely wrecked.
Dave could, though.
There's legendary stories. And great once again. But here, hold on. It is all subjective, though. Like, it is all opinion based. I am way more of a Pantera fan than a Metallica fan. But yeah.
And that's what art is. It's art is subjective, right? Beauty in the eye of the beholder. And
I would say even objective art is subjective. Like, it just is. Yeah. It's based on your personal experience and how you view it. Like, it could be legitimately better in every regard, and you could be like, yeah, whatever. You know, you could think it sucks at that point, or just not as good.
Zoom in for us there, Jason.
What's up?
Can you zoom in, please? You got a huge screen.
Okay. Well, it's a sketch cover, so it's
okay, yeah. I want to see the details, bro. I love seeing the pencil work, the line work. It's my thing, right? Because being a dude who used to do shading and stuff and pencil work, and I love watching other people's,
I don't do much in pencil. I do a lot more with ink. I do like this. I obviously, did do like the outline and stuff in the wireframe, but with my pencils, I can actually show you. Like, this is probably as detailed as I'll get with my pencils. Is like right there. That's about it.
Okay.
Like, I don't go very detailed at all. I just as long as the placement is there, and then I just go in and ink it. So and that's because I just need to know where it is, where it is, and I'll even mess with the shape once I'm inking. I just need to know the layout of it. So like I did that with the Casey. So yeah.
You're like my artist, James. Like, let me show you something here. So this is James, and he basically goes to inks right away.
Oh yeah, nice.
Right, and because like it saves him so much time, so he'll probably just do some setup, and then he'll go straight to inks right away. And
if you're inking yourself, I don't see the point in doing type pencils. There are some lunatics out there that will, but I don't see the point in doing type pencils if you're inking yourself.
Yeah. Then you've got like my other artist, which is here, and he'll do the do the soft lines and stuff, and then go over the top of it, and just going crazy. This is why, like, this is why I love working with different artists, bro. Because
yeah. Shelby Robertson, he doesn't really ink his stuff all that much that he draws. He just pencils. He'll scan it in then and just you mess with the adjustments and stuff and do it that way because his pencils are so tight that's just what he prefers penciling. So so that's a great thing. Like we all work in different ways, even with writing.
Yeah.
All work in different ways, and that's why, like on my show, I try to find out what your method is, how you go about doing it, if we get because sometimes we get derailed. It's like this, you're just having a conversation. So, which I love, by the way. I think that's the best format to have for a show, rather than having like set questions, which is still good. I like it because it's a little more relaxed. You're not as like
it's going to be a bit of both, right? Because you can ask the questions, you can ask.
Nice, yeah.
But I think just conversation is better than anything else because you just like I used, like the way I like to always do these things is like I'm sitting across from you having a cup of coffee, in a cafe.
Yeah. Now I was on with Comics for All, and he has a structured a questionnaire thing, and I actually really enjoyed it because I don't do those all that often. So I'm like, all right, kind of cool. What's that?
Another wall. I don't even know who Michelle Graves is. Michael Graves,
Danzig or Michelle Graves? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Danzig fan, so Michelle Graves then. I don't know who Michelle Graves is though.
Danzig. That's all that matters. Glenn is all.
Hold on, I think I misspelled that.
Glenn is all. There is no other but Glenn. He is Danzig. Russ asks, Jason, I have type pencils as well. Will it be? Wait, I don't know what he means there.
Hold on.
Oh, benefit. Sorry. I got it. He goes, will it benefit me more to skip the inking process?
You do you, boo. I don't know. I mean, his pencils are very tight with Rushbrook, but if you like inking, ink, I say. But if you could get away with like what Shelby does, where it's so tight, you just got to adjust the layers. It saves you an insurmountable amount of time.
Well, that's what it is, right? The more time you get to save, do that, right?
Well, and how much of your tight pencils are tight? Some people consider tight pencils to be like, okay, I have like the eyeballs in tightly and stuff like that. But they don't really do any cross hatching in it. That comes later. Now, if you're cross hatching and doing everything super tight with pencils, then I would just do an adjustment in Photoshop at that point, or whatever program you use, and it'll save you time. But if you like inking and you have the joy of that, but you need the tight pencils to go over, then ink. Like, do what makes you happy. That's what I say, and that's what we're all about. Like making ourselves happy in hopes that it makes other people do the same. That's why we make stories. We do it for ourselves, and in hopes that other people will enjoy them too. Like, and this is another thing that kind of hindered the mainstream comic industry throughout the years, is they were trying to make product to sell product rather than to make it because they love it. So they still did both, but it started leaning more heavily on a consumer aspect rather than a creative aspect.
Yeah.
So nice.
Do you want to check up another couple of works there? I want people to see your different art styles. Are you taking commissions, Jason?
Not at the moment, because for one, I'm gearing up for Heroes Con. Also, I'm working on another Absolute story, and once I start working on something, we're going to work on Frog G3 once ink is done coloring Frog 2, and I'm going to stop this project. So it depends on the commission, and it depends on the money. So but not at the moment though. I'm not really taking it.
Is this who I think it is?
Oh yeah,
it is Sam Keith. Yes,
well, that's me.
Max.
But
I could tell Max, like, the screen from me is about 2 meters away, so I was like, I could tell by the shape, bro. I couldn't see
that's
the
the thing about the Max.
That's what I was saying.
The Max, is all about shape. Yeah.
That was such a surreal comic book, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, it was so good. I'm only 3 issues away from completing the entire run.
I had a big chunk of the run up to I think issue 38.
35 is what it went to, so probably up to
Oh,
35.
35. Okay, yeah.
No. It's an odd number. Yeah, no. I don't expect, dude. I was in the 90s. How are you gonna remember? But I had a big chunk of them too, and just I would give them to people to read and like. So
What about the spin-off series? Did you have Friends of Max?
You know what? I think I did end up buying it at one point. I knew about the Friends of the Max, but I don't know if I had. I don't think I have any of them right now.
The first issue had the guy who's he supposedly was an artist, but everything he did looked like something out of a coloring book. So no one took him seriously. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, sounds familiar. But but no, yeah, Sam is a huge influence of mine. So yeah, and to me, it's like you said, Max is all about shape. A lot of people tend to think it's about like getting that cross hatching and all that stuff. No, you got to get the shapes down, like and just play with those. So yeah. Now the detail does help. The weird cross hatching, the smudging and stuff like that. It helps a little, but
weird shaped hands and feet.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So yeah, like David Finch, oddly enough, drew something very similar to this one. But David Finch did one not too long ago, and it was really good. But the problem was it was so technically correct. It was just a little off. Like it was insanely good. Like I'm not going to knock Finch at all, but it just wasn't. It wasn't quite tasteful enough for me. I'm like,
you had to have had I before E.
Oh, I have I before E. Yeah.
Oh, it could definitely.
Dude, I even have the artist edition of the Max. It's just
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah, dude, it's so good. If you want a more affordable, because that's a crazy. I got it when it first came out, and I saved a bunch of money. But if you want a more affordable Sam Keith artist edition, get the Batman Secrets. That one it's all Sam. It's crazy thick, but it's a regular artist edition price. So it's still expensive, but it's more affordable than the Max one. Yeah, because like I said, I got that one when it came out. Luckily enough, so yeah. This was a fun one. I sold the original of this the second I posted it.
Oh wow! How much you sell for, by the way?
What's that?
$1 trillion.
I mean, it's been sold, so I guess you can tell the price how much you sold it for.
Not that much. I think it was 160. Yeah. So,
how big was the piece?
Oh, it's 11 by 17. It's 11 by 17. But keep in mind, I drew this just to draw it. I didn't draw it intending on selling it. So, had I known that, maybe I would have gone a little crazier and charged more. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how to price my stuff, to be honest with you. Like,
But here's the thing, right? It's actually not the artist who knows how to price things. It's people who actually start buying it from them, and then you kind of like average it out, right? Like I've had pieces that I was doing for fun. They were selling for $100 each way back when, right? And probably about 90s. I think it was like mid 90s, and then it was like now I'm like I don't do anything, so it's just like, what does it matter? But I love looking at people's work and buying work, man. I like buying people's work because it looks so, I like having other people's work in my house, in my apartment, right? Well, I've got my mate's original work. I've commissioned him for work. I've asked him, and things I've gotten as birthday presents. I think having original work is such a way to have a piece of somebody's soul in your home. It's kind of a strange way to say things, but like you actually have a part of that person in your home on the wall to display their talent, their skills, their life of dedication to that work, right? That's why AI will never fucking get that, because having somebody's original work that they touched, they penciled, they for the 5 hours, 20 hours that you spend pouring your soul into that, whether if you did it for fun or for whatever or for commission, it doesn't matter, because in that 20 hours you honed your skill into that piece of paper.
Well, that's why I tell people, if you see a campaign that has art in it, original art for sale, that is in your price, buy it. Like if it's within your price, if it's reachable, because you never know, that artist on that book That book
Yeah.
itself, the writer on that book, it could all explode. You don't know, and then it can be worth a lot of money. But if you really like it, it doesn't matter if it explodes or not, because now you have something
Exactly.
you really enjoy.
You win either way, right? You win either way.
You win either way. So buying original art it's I mean, hanging on your wall, like it's cool. Like who cares if it ends up worse than anything or not?
Yeah, for one of ours.
Oh, hey, look who's in chat.
Oh no, I don't even want to mention him, bro. Don't even mention his name around here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
You shall
talking
be
about
named.
he shall not be named anymore. That's not what I want to share. But you were talking about where is it? If I can find it. So you mentioned about art, right? So being sold. So one of our campaigns, I'm going to start this next week because it's ready. It's been ready forever to launch because everything's finished. But there's this piece here done by my Swedish artist, right? Ivakim, and the work I was showing before with the battle scene. That was his work on his own title, which is called Zolandia. But so I used this is the original work here because this wasn't done for like a commission, right, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
This was just original work that he was doing, pen on paper, inking, just for design, right? I said, hey, can you do me do our White Wolf, and then the character, right? Because I was going to do a mini poster. So these two were supposed to be like going to digital and as a poster. But I said to him, you know what? Why don't you sell? Put your would you be interested in putting up your original work? Because this is a one of one, right? This is the very first of the whole series, part of the entire Plunge universe, where we have this wolf character, right? The white werewolf. And whoever gets this is with the one of one and the original first ever art piece that we've done for this. So the entire work is done, right? It's all there. So I went across and put on T-shirt as well. I said, hey, now people can get on T-shirts as well. And this is the thing about that. Like, I don't, I've always wanted to get T-shirt done of my original characters. And this work happens to be the first one that's going to be done. Not this exact one because I wanted one-on-one, but as a comic person, as an artist, what I think that people should do is if you're an artist, have a side gig of having a T-shirt store, right? If you're an artist, right? This is not something new I've thought of. I actually a while back. And I'll get rid of that because we're not talking about that here today. We're talking about Jason. So, but I wanted to mention that because of the art, right? And
I like that. I like that. I use that as my thumbnail whenever we had you on.
Yeah. So I think about 3 years back, I was going to do an entire story told through T-shirts. Entire sci-fi comic book, whatever story done through T-shirts. So you could oh, this is what's happening, and the radio will be announcing something, and that will be on your T-shirt. And I was like, bro, I need an artist to do that first, right? Because I'm not an artist. So if I can, get to a stage, maybe 5 years, 10 years down the road, that's what I'll do next, right? Do a story that's completely going to be on T-shirts. And so, one month we'll put out this T-shirt, and this will be the one for that. And the month after that, this will be part of that story, right? That aspect, the next step, until all the T-shirts tell you the entire short story that has to do with the story that I read. All on T-shirts, artwork. This is your main hero, right? This is the enemy. This is the battle scene. This is where they're running off to. This is where they hide. It's kind of like, it's writing something like, say, a story like Terminator on T-shirts instead of in a comic book or in a movie. And I don't think anybody's ever done that.
No one's ever done that. It's pretty.
And that was my idea, about 3 years ago. But when I was building up to that, I got shafted by a what was called a bill. Oh no, we were going to have I put a down payment during COVID on a hall to do our convention at, and they had a little the little, what is it called, the little type that they put in there saying such and such, and so I lost $1,600
Oh,
down
yeah.
payment that I would have used to kickstart my t-shirt business, right? Story.
Yeah, like a disclaimer or something.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
because of
Wait,
COVID, you will lose your thing. And I'm like, oh, great.
Uh,
So that just sort of killed my whole idea of like getting that t-shirt business off the ground.
What if
But-
you did a
sucks.
story entirely out of sandwiches?
It'd be delicious.
Now,
would.
now I'm just gonna have to stop talking to you now. So let's talk to
Oh.
you know, I don't even know what this is about. I can't actually
Duckman.
let me see if I can go to Dovic's screen wherever he is and see if I can bring that up, because let me see, what does he say? TikTok.
It's a TikTok video. It's a TikTok.
Yeah, I'll watch it first before I put it on, because I don't trust Divic anymore. Oh, now I gotta log into TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok.
I trust Lazzy all day.
Yeah, I don't trust him anymore, bro. He streamed over you being on here.
People stream over me all the time. It's fine.
But you know, it's just dude, man, I love your art style. I do. I love
Thanks,
the
man.
rugged
No, I really do.
That's a pretty good
metal
Wolverine.
aspect of it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that was so fun. This one was actually done in there's a program called Rebel, and it mimics traditional art. It's kind of like a Corel Painter and stuff like that. And
Right.
so it can mimic my pen and ink really well.
Okay.
But I do water, like the one I showed earlier of the girl holding the skull, that was done in it too, but it mimics like watercolor and chalk and all that stuff. So I love playing in that program. That's what I played. Yeah, it's a good program. It's a one-time purchase if you're an artist out there and you're interested. It's like it's not a subscription based. So Rebel 8, you can go get it. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Have you ever used Clip Studio Paint?
No, but a lot of people I know. I think Rushbrook does. I think Hockey does too.
Yeah, Clip Studio Paint is awesome, man. I've used it for probably about 20 years of my life now. And back then it was called Manga Studio, and so you can do, the thing about that is it is subscription, but you can also outright buy it. And I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just saying that.
Oh yeah,
dude,
I wish we were sponsored by half the people we talked about. Don't worry about anything.
Yeah, it's just such a good program to use because it helps you do lettering. For those people who can't afford letterers, you can learn how to do lettering. And here's the thing, right? We've talked about people, about cost and stuff, right? And a lot of times people don't know how to be smart about the costings of creating a comic book, right? So they forget that there are programs out there, that can help you letter your own book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
there's even open source programs out there that you can use that mimic a lot of these programs too.
And also, you can grab a friggin' tablet and color flat your book, and that'll take off a couple bucks, off getting somebody else to go over your work and have it, finish off your work. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are just not smart about when it comes to creating comics, and they jump in there and go, "Oh, we're going to do a comic book," and then never deliver because they don't know what to do, right?
That is the point of a crowdfunder in regards to that, because if you have like 5 different people working on stuff, you got to pay them some way, and I don't care what kind of job you got, it's not gonna pay for everything. So doing as much as you can yourself is very important. So
this is what I actually color flatted, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I'm going to show you, because then I get to choose what colors I want on my work. So let me see if I can find the right folder here, which has the work that has finished that work. This is that it? Right. So this is the same one that I got my my colorist artist to finish off coloring, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
To give it a bit of thing, so you can see between the two.
Yep. Yeah.
Just to go through.
That's a good way to go about it. Yeah.
And then this is the entire page, so you can see the difference between his color flatting on that I mean, his finishing on that and my color
Right, nice
flatting.
finishes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a smart way to do it. Yeah. Now, and flattening is tedious. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, but it's also
you know, if you can save $20 a page,
yeah,
that's a lot of money.
that's what I did. That's what I did.
Yeah.
That saved me $20 a page.
Yep.
Right. For him to come and finish it and give him do over that touch so
Yeah. Nice.
looks like a good page. The shading and
is.
stuff. And not only that, I feel more comfortable that he's shading it than I'm shading it, because I'll be questioning myself every second of the way. Is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Damn it, it's not right. No, they're not going to like it, right?
That's the human element to it. You
Yeah.
know, and that's what you want, the human element. Yeah.
But yeah, I really suggest, learning a lot more about comic creation if you're struggling, with finances to get your book work.
At least, I mean, the two hardest ones are the writing and the drawing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you know how to do either one of those, you're already ahead of the curve. And so you can then learn how to letter. You may not be the best at it, but you can get better as you go.
Yeah.
And these are, you could learn how to flat, and coloring is also one of the other harder ones. I should not color. I mean, come on, ink spots is phenomenal. So yeah, if you can learn how to do, I want to say almost the core essentials, you're ahead of the curve. Like if you know how to do those, if you're just the idea man, you better have a good Kickstarter and a good job, because you're gonna need a lot of money if you're just the idea man. So you gotta learn how to do something,
Well, that's like that guy Tony Dennison, right? Or whatever his name is. What's his name? Do you know his name? The guy with the 56K book about, it's called Ride or Die, and he's just the ideas man, and he had somebody else do stuff. Yeah,
I've heard that book.
Sorry?
I can't remember who
I've heard
it
of the
was.
book. I don't know who the guy is.
And so he goes out there, goes, this is what I'm going to do, and puts a couple covers up. Still isn't delivered, bro.
Yeah.
Right? About a year later.
I've seen it done so many times where people they're paying for what they call quality, and they go broke trying to make a book.
Yeah.
And that's just like, well, you need to be thrifty. You don't.
And you do. You're not wrong.
Oh, here, I found it. So this is it here, right? So this is a dude who basically fight for your dreams or die trying. The dude basically stole money from people, right? 56K. And there's a lot of these people, man. There's a lot of these people out there, right? 55K, right?
Oh, Jesus. That's enough to 56.
Let's do it here. And he's every day he's out on his friggin' live streams talking about everything but the book that he stole money off from people to beg, right? Right?
Yeah.
56K from 272 people.
Yeah. I don't care if you raise 56K or $56. If your book's late, let people know. Let people know why.
Yeah.
Let people know what's going on. Be transparent. Like Frog's late, we have updates on the campaign. So you should be forthcoming with your information. People paid, invested in you and your product.
All they showed was covers, bro. All they showed was covers.
Dude, I've seen campaigns.
Here's some
like
sketches, right? Just here's some art pieces. But so if you got 3-4 pages done there, where's the book? Right? Where is it?
I have a pretty hard rule that if I don't see any interior pages, I'm definitely not backing. Like I'm just
exactly.
Yeah.
So the weird thing is, like, there's only 7 comments here, but there are people saying, came here to see where the updates. Looks like more people have the same questions. So looks like he's gone in there and deleted comments because people haven't got their work.
Jeez.
Cody ripped us all off.
That's pretty ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Give us an update. All right. This is just from about 2 months ago.
Well, give us an update here. Don't tell us on YouTube, and don't tell us tell us on YouTube and X and all that other stuff, but tell us on the campaign page, because not everybody follows you on all your social media platforms.
Yeah. Look, a year ago, like six months ago.
Jeez.
Get your refund, boys. Camelot scammed you guys. Does anyone know if there's an update on this campaign? And this is like, so here's the thing, right? And I don't want to drag people into these things, but you can opt out of this for a minute there if you want, Jason, because I'm talking about CG for a minute.
Okay,
It's up
go
to you
ahead.
if you want to be on.
I don't care.
Okay, so last week I was on a friend's stream in the chat, and this one guy was on there, and I didn't know who he was. I thought it was just nobody. And so, but the dude started sweeping, and he started saying, "Well, the reason people don't back books anymore is because, well, it's all over the place. People don't. The reason it's dead because it's all over the place." I'm like, bro, the reason it's dead is because of this, right?
It's a factor. Like you can't say
Yeah.
late books are not a factor or deleting comments, all that. Like it definitely
Yeah.
is. It's a big one. It's kind of to me neck and neck between that and the economy, because I even cut back drastically on my backing, and I kind of don't. I care. I do care if people are late, but I kind of expect it. Like I expect people to be late. I just do. So I will back your project if I really like it, but I cut back so much that I don't even know if I back a book a year really. Like and that's a drastic statement. Maybe it's a little more than that, but still, between paying for the comics I buy on my pull list, food, groceries, helping with bills and streaming services and medications, and like everything's gone up in price. So like that, and then not only that, it's like, okay, well, if I back this book at $50 now, I'm not going to see anything for a year if I'm lucky, because that's when it's supposed to ship. But now it's going to be late, probably because something came up, even if it's a legitimate reason. And now it's 3 years late, and I could have spent that $50 on more food for my family.
Right.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was done.
Okay. So when I was still crowdfunding, I don't crowdfund anymore. My books just go straight to my publisher.
Smart.
And they put that on. Put it on Amazon. They put it on Barnes and Noble and whatnot.
Yeah.
The last campaign I had was for my third issue, and I kept getting more and more. Well, I don't back anything anymore because I got burned too many times.
Yeah.
And it is true.
So,
that is.
I reckon that's 50% of why people don't support any new projects, because of that, late books and being burnt. And it's sad, but like people, you should. The fact that you haven't fulfilled one book and you start another project.
Oh, that's terrible.
That you shouldn't be allowed to show your face in public.
I when it comes to backing CG, not CG, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, I don't care. I could care less. I look at the creator and I look at their reputation as far as fulfillment. So like that's where it goes to now. Like I could love the book so much, but if I'm like, well, the book's not going to come out for 6 years, I'll wait till it's in fulfillment almost, and then I'll so it's just the way it is nowadays. Like it's not COVID days anymore, where the comic shops are closed and you can't get your heroin fix of comics any other way. Like you can get them now. You can go to the comic shop. So it's you got to be a little more reliable with your product. Like I said, Frog's late too. Like I'm no exception to this rule. So I get it. And that's why I even tell people, hey, if you're going to back Frog, wait until we're either in fulfillment or there's an update saying we're about ready to go into fulfillment because the book is done. Because that's way you're going to get the product. Like your book was completely finished. You put your stuff straight to Amazon now. Smartest way to go. We're going to have ours completely done and on our own website. That way you just get it. And that's kind of is. You got to navigate the waters a little better nowadays. And a lot of people are just sticking to the crowdfunding format, which is nothing wrong with it at all in the slightest. Like it is beneficial, but crowdfunding is not supposed to be a payment system for your, house bills. Like it's just supposed to,
but the thing is that that's what people are using it for, right?
And it is. And I do get wanting to get paid for your work. I understand that without a doubt. But that's not what the thing is for. If you happen to do so, hey, I applaud you and I support you. If you could do it, great. Brian Polito does it. You're a champ, dude. I can't do that. So to me, it is just to make the book and ship the book. That's it. Now, if I make $200,000 on top of it, I'm not going to complain. But I better make sure that the people who backed it do get it within a timely manner. Like it's just the way it's the way it is now. Like you can't get away with the way things used to be anymore.
So what I'm showing you now is a book that we put out in 2023. We only had 38 backers. We only got $1,181 for it, right? from a $900 goal. We got it out to backers.
Yeah, it got funded. Yeah,
1 month late, but we got it to our backers. And by the way, people think PlungeComics doesn't put anything out. This is a PlungeComic book. We put this out, and it got to our backers 1 month late. Right, completed book.
that's not bad.
Full color.
That's not bad at all. Yeah.
And so when we do the next book, I decided after this was that we'd have everything completed beforehand. So now every book that comes out from us doesn't go on Kickstarter or crowdfunding unless it's 100% completed.
And like the thing is, living our lives and doing who we are, like we do understand life does happen. And so if the whole thing isn't done and you fall and break your arm, you can't draw anymore. And like it's totally broken. You can't pick up a pencil.
People understand it though.
Like, you're going to be late. Like things do happen, but that's why it's better to have the whole thing done ahead of time and then be like, okay, well, here's the crowdfunder, or here it is on Amazon, or here it is on my website. Like it's finished. All you have to do is pre-order it so we can print. Like it's totally done. Or like it's print.
And this is where I want to go, right?
It's right there. You can get it.
That's where I think people should go up to. Once you get your book printed from Kickstarter, dude, go put up a website yourself, right? Go put your website up, get your do the whole pre-order thing, because people, I mean, there's no reason to just stay on friggin' Kickstarter for the rest of your life if you do your business right. People who stay on Kickstarter for the rest, after getting about 1 million or 100,000, are people who don't know how to run a business.
And like I said, Kickstarter, like all the other crowdfunding sites, like I said, if you're a writer, you don't know how to do anything else. You're an artist, you don't know how to do anything else. Like, and you need to raise the money for it in order. Yes, okay, I get it. Then at that point, but if you have to be established, in my opinion, enough, or be reputable enough in a way. If it's your first one, you're gonna have a hard time. But you have to be like, okay, it's supposed to ship. Like, I can't afford the 48 pages right now. We have 2 months of funding, 1 month of funding. We hit it. We'll start the project. It'll take us maybe a year to 6 months to a year. You'll get it. And that you kind of have to fulfill on that promise. But after that, if you don't, you're responsible for that, you know? So it is the way it is.
What cracks me up, and I know people are going to hate me for this, but people like Brian Polito, Coffin Comics, all these big name people who still use crowdfunding. People like Image Comics, who are the worst. By the way, Image Comics are the worst people when it comes to delivery. According to Gruck, by the way, guys. Image Comics.
That's nothing new. Look at Image back in the 90s. So
so Image Comics have been like out there going to crowdfunding as a top 5, by the way, as a top 5 comic book publisher in the world. But when it comes to comics, not manga, excuse me, when I say comics, I mean comics, right? American comics.
I thought Image was
Image Comics. Wherever they are, Image Comics is one of the biggest non-deliverers of comic books. The reason I actually looked into that, I didn't even look into Image Comics. I just said, hey, yo, man, Gruck, get out there and find me who's the worst people who are at creating comics, with the big names. And I said, well, the worst one is Image Comics. So every few $1 million you'll see come out, people backing to these big name people, it's just money down the drain, bro. Right?
Yeah.
It's just money down the drain. It's just like money that's thrown to the ether, right?
The people backing like the big names, like the Image comic names and stuff, they're hoping that they're gonna get in on a cash crop and flip it later. That's mainly what it is. I can see if you're looking to get like a Darkness omnibus or something like that. That's a whole collection. You're not looking to flip that. You just want the whole trade. That's different. But a lot of them are just looking to flip. That's mainly what it is. Yeah.
I just feel like it's gotten to a point where it's this, like, these whole big people, big names have really destroyed, let me bring this up where it's, come here, dude. I can see it in front of me. Here we go. Let me show you this. They're basically all these big names of, who've come into the scene after it was there for beginners and all that. People. I have a dream. I've got an idea for a story. I want to do this. After those people had brought in a crowd of backers and stuff, what had happened is after seeing all that, the big names came in, right? And here's the question here, right? So when it comes to Indigo, the biggest undelivered comic campaigns, Indiegogo has fewer big bad campaigns because it doesn't have the numbers there, right? But if you look at it, let me go to Kickstarter. The Order of the Stick raised $1.25 million, right? That wasn't undelivered. 1.25, yeah.
Okay.
$1.25 million, bro. Several large Image Comics and creator-owned campaigns, some by big names like Rob Liefeld, Brigade Returns, or various anthology projects that raised 100 to 500K, 100K to 500K, and had major delays or partial non-delivery. Multiple serial campaigners who raised 200 to 800K across several projects and left many backers without rewards. This is what is killing. These are people who took millions of dollars.
Well, I also have noticed a lot more people, they're more willing to support lower level campaigns, mainly because also a lot of the lower level guys, like I'm not talking about like whoever, like you're brand new.
Me, I'm a lower level guy, yeah.
But you've been around a bit, but either way, like let's say you're brand new, you come in, most of the times their books are even less now. Like they're like, oh, well,
yeah.
If it costs me this much to print, I'm only charge like 15 or 10 for a black and white, where it used to be 20, 25. So they're not going to raise the 500K like a lot of people want, but they might get funded at least, and that's all they want. So they are. I think a lot more are kind of like going that way also. Yeah, and like you said, the big names, like if you're Liefeld, dude, I could just go to my comic shop and buy a
exactly
Liefeld comic. And but the other thing is they're also looking for Liefeld because once again they go on Whatnot and flip it. So that's what they're after.
Flip the name, right?
The people that are backing the comics that are just getting funded and put out, they want them because they're interested in the story, and they think the art's cool, and they really want to digest the medium and escape for a few minutes, not just try to make a few bucks off of a rarity, a 1 in 200,000 limited edition metal cover. Which
cool. our book, bro. Our book is the most limited book you can ever get because there's only 38 people who bought it. Right? This is the most. This. Put it.
You didn't overprint. You didn't print a few.
I think we didn't. Went up to like 25 and 50. That's it. And I have a small box of those ones here. It's just
you should always overprint for cons and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. There was the ones that like these were just success. But look at this. You were saying about $15, $25. We did a 36 page comic book, full color for $10, bro.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, you're not going to get rich off of that, but you'll get funded maybe.
Cover A, $10, right? And we had cover A $10. Then we did a cover B and C for $10.
And I still won't back a $25 48 pager. Like I still will, but I really have to love the book, So I'm willing to take more of a shot on a $15 38 pager, whether or not I might like it. I like some parts of it. Fine, I'll back it and see if I like the whole thing. But if I'm paying $25, that campaign, I better love everything on it.
Well, our 25 was for a foil cover.
Oh, nice.
Right.
I like the shinies. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a foil cover and it was like I think it was black. It was a full foil, so it was back and front. So there was specifically it was done in a way that I wanted people to read the book. This was only $10, right? Yeah. For a physical, because I wanted people to read our book. It's an all ages book, and we got issue number 2 coming out soon. So and that's completely done. Like everything on there is like 100% finished. But you don't have. I mean. A lot of these people who come out here, right, they don't understand the business side of it. And so when they don't understand the business side of it, they start screaming at people, at backers. Yeah. Because of this, but don't sit on, then don't get on live stream every day and complain about not being able to finish your book.
And admittedly, it is a lot harder to market in today's age, just because less people are watching, the content or on social media. Like more people, COVID's over. People are out playing softball or baseball or football. Like they're actually interacting with humans again. So it's
they're just watching the drama, right?
Or they're just watching the drama. Yeah, which I mean, I can't lie. I've done it myself. So, we're all a part of it. We all get, I don't talk about it because that's not what I want my business to be. So, but I understand that it's always been a part of the comic industry. I've listened to a couple books actually very recently about this very subject. The drama has always been a part of the comic industry. Like you name it, it's been there. And it's pretty wild what does and has happened in the big two. But I just don't have to be involved in it because guess what? I have a full-time job and I'm trying to make a book. I don't have time to sit there and argue with somebody that I don't know, that's miles and miles away, that I'll never see or ever interact with. I'd rather actually just get along with them and call it a day. Whether or not I like their antics is one thing. I can still be friendly with everybody and they can be friendly to me too. Fine. I don't have to like your actions to be nice to you. It's not hard to do. I work customer service. You know how many of those customers I didn't like? Most of them. But I was still friendly to them. Have a good day. Welcome to the store, So
I mean, like
customer service, but
just like you, man. I was a senior sales and customer service retail for about 12 and a bit years. And so I just thought people come in, they want different things, they're all different people. So that's why I like doing these conversations and having different people on, because I like to see their work and and I know that people like different things, right?
Yeah,
people love different things.
Well, that's also like it's the same moniker as like even if you're at a restaurant, be nice to your server. Like you don't know that person, they don't know you, but when you're nice to them, it's such a more pleasant experience, and you're not going to get pubic hair in your food. So
even if I kind of like lose my shit sometimes, and I've done it once, and I'll go back and I'll tip them. I go, hey man, sorry, here you go, here's a tip.
Yeah, well,
I don't care whatever.
If the server sucks, their tip is going to reflect it. Like their job is to be good at their friendly and cordial and nice and all that fun stuff. So it's not hard to do. Just be nice and run your business like a business. Like don't do it like it's your that's a cool picture. Okay. Yeah, just don't do it like it's your whole life. You know what I mean? Like it isn't. There's more hard things out there in life than just being mean to people on the internet. Like life itself is hard enough as it is. So
Now let's talk about Frog G. This is book 2, right? Or is it book 1?
Yeah, it's book 2. It's book 2. Okay. It's the second issue. Yeah.
Okay. So
you can get book 1 on the campaign.
Right. Can you give me a blurb before I start this trailer on book on this?
I mean the blurb is also in the trailer in a way, but I'll tell you anyway. Okay. It's about a guy who gets turned to a frog by a voodoo priestess that's sent on a quest by death to kill a god, win back his humanity, and get back to the woman he loves. In book 2, it picks up right where 1 left off, and he travels further into the underworld on this journey to kill a god.
Wait. And do you have trailer for number 1?
Yeah, it's trailer 1 is trailer. We paid Pedro Ang to animate it because we paid him, and it was so much money. It cost so much. We just used it for this trailer also. So
okay, so the same trailer. Okay, cool.
It's the same trailer. Yeah.
Okay, no, because I thought, well, let's start with number 1, then get to number 2, because some people might want to get both books.
Yeah, but number 1 is the story of how he becomes because he's a mechanic working at a shop, and he gets cursed by a voodoo priestess because he goes off on this old lady at the shop, and because he's getting in an argument with his fiance, and while they're arguing, the old lady at the shop is asking for her vehicle, and he blows up at her, and she's like, "Look, you're a rude person," and she curses him for being so rude. And he wakes up the next day as a frog. He thinks it's a major dream, and like he goes to confront the lady because he has her address from working at the mechanic shop. So he goes to confront her. She turns into this like attractive woman instead of this old hag, zaps him, and he ends up trying to go on this quest then to fight to figure out how, because death comes up. He still thinks everything's a fever dream because he woke up as a frog. So he
Okay.
thinks he's like tripping or something. So, and then issue 2 is still a continuation upon that. So it furthers the journey, tells more about him, his backstory, and everything like that. And it's a fun adventure filled with just crazy artwork, amazing color work. Yeah, fun for the whole family.
Okay, so I just remembered something. I think this is a cool way to like intro that, and it's from the band that you don't actually like. So let me
A lot
start
of
with
bands I
that,
don't like.
and then we'll go to the trailer.
No worries. I like that art.
Woke up on the floor again. No idea just where I've been. My phone is dead and the rent is due. I lost my job and I lost the news. It's just another bad day. Another bad day. Another bad day.
We've all read the story. The brave hero conquers the diabolical villain and rescues the damsel in distress. But this is real life, and in real life, stories don't always have happy endings. Prom G, the story of a man turned into a prom by a voodoo priestess sent on a mission to kill a god by death itself. Now our hero must roam the underworld to regain his humanity and win back the woman he loves.
Is that cool or what, man?
That's pretty dope, dude. Pedro's the man. He crushed it. Yeah, he did a great. So as a thing, it's so good, and it will fit for every issue that because there's gonna be a 2-story arc for this. It's just so good. We paid so much for it already. Like it fits. That's the synopsis for his whole story. Like, why not just keep using it? And it is dope. Like that could be a Saturday morning cartoon. It was. We were so happy with it. Pedro and everybody, great dude. Yeah, very talented.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, and I thought, like you said, he just wakes up after a bad day. I was like, oh, I know that's from somewhere. So I did a Google thing. I was like, lyrics, bad day, right? Just another bad day. And I was like, oh, that's Megadeth. Okay, so
well, and like my whole thing, I like vocalists, and I just don't like his vocals. Megadeth, Iron Maiden, I don't like their vocals. Like that's the main issue is what I have with a lot of bands.
Is it because
I'm picky
into rock metal, rock vocals, or what is it about vocals that you think that that you're into? Because like I'm a dude who likes the strong male vocals for years.
Yeah.
Listen to female vocals because of that.
Like no, like I like Ginger. They're pretty good. I don't like female vocalists that sound like it's put like the band was put together to sell the female vocalist. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a watered down production style. Like it just seems like Ginger sounds like they came straight from a Ukrainian war. Like they sound authentic to me. So that's why I like them. I'm not huge on the female vocalists. But yeah, I don't know.
This is good, bro. I like this.
Oh, thank dude. Ink.
And there's and the thing is, this is the first time I'm looking at it. That's why I don't want. That's why usually I like to look at people's thing on stream and not beforehand, so I actually get the impression for real. I like this. This is good.
Well, and it's like I said, like my line art and Ink Spots' coloring. It like my line art. I don't usually toot my own horn, but my line art on the Frog book is some of my best work I've done in comics. But without Ink's colors, it's just half of a thing. Like Ink just really just brings it home and really makes it sing, because he not only just colors it, he'll add in a lot of like things in the background, because I do leave space open for him to play with, because he's a really good illustrator on top of it. So we just work really well together. And plus he'll toss in like traditional painting, and like that's a painting. Like he painted that in acrylic paint, put my line art over it, like took out some of the line art here, put some back in. Beautiful stuff. Like the man is a genius of color. So it's just great. And we work really well together, and I'm glad I found him. So yeah, it's a 48-page, fully colored fantasy epic fairy tale. So yeah, and then there's also an 8-page bonus story. There's a variant cover by Carl Stefan, who did Merry Boys. He goes by Chubbs. And then there's also a foil trading card by Christopher John from way back in the day. Amazing artist. And then there's an 8-page backup story in the comic itself. Instead of doing a supplemental, we had Hockey draw an 8-page backstory that's in the book. So it's actually 56 pages of content, 48 pages of Frog, 8 pages of the backstory of the Voodoo Priestess that Hockey drew, which is, I think that right there. Yeah. Hockey's really good. So yeah. It's like, I would say Ink has maybe 10 to 15 pages to color still. He ran into drastic life problems over the past, since November. And we launched in September, so he's had it rough, but like the line art's totally done, and it doesn't take us long to write and letter it. So so it's like we have samples of some of the line art there, and then his colors on top of stuff. Like once again, another painted page. So just fun stuff, man. Like here's a good example. Like there's my line art, and then here's him working on it. Laying in the gray tones, in the shadow mapping it, and then the next one is the colored version of it. So he'll do a traditional.
Jason, hold on for a minute. So you send across the actual?
No. He prints it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out you post it to him and then he gets it. So he actually you send him a digital copy, and then he prints it out.
Yeah, send him a high-res TIFF file. He'll print it, and then he'll go in and shadow map it, lay in the gray tones, and then he'll color it either traditionally and or digitally. But is that Angela Curry?
That is Angela Curry.
Angela, what's up? You Friday? Is she saying hello?
Hey, Chica. So,
whenever he does traditional, he'll do it that way, and then he'll color it traditionally, but then also maybe do some touch-ups in Photoshop. So, and then there's the finished page, after the colors are done. And then also, if you get the Big Daddy tier, it'll come with a light by Frog G himself. I'll tell you that in a second. But he makes these lights, these box lights, and it'll be the cover of Frog G2, and it lights up. They're really beautiful. Ink Spots and I have one. Frog G is based off of Frog G, the mod, the guy in a chat. He stopped being in chats because of his work and stuff over the past few months. But he's like a super mod. He posts links like crazy in everybody's chats throughout the years. And he backed one of my projects on Absolute. He backed one of the tiers where you could become a trading card. And he's like, well, I want to be a frog because I'm Frog G. And I'm like, okay, so I drew it, and then Ink Spots colored it. And he's Frog G because of he was in the Navy, and this was decades ago or years ago. So he's a frog man. So they were at a bar drinking one night, and they said, tomorrow we'll let loose the frogs of war, and they all did a toast. He tells the story better than I do. So, and this has nothing to do with Cyberfrog at all. Like, I did not want to do a frog book because of Cyberfrog. I didn't want to do a frog book. But everybody wanted it. The fans wanted us to do Frog G. Like they did. They were like, they saw the trading card, and they were like, when does this book come out? We're like, well, that's just a trading card. And everybody was like, we want this comic. Make this comic. And so we did. So we gave the fans what they wanted.
That reminds me of how Gwent Pool came out, right? And how that was created, because there was a variant cover of Gwen as done as a Gwent Pool as part of like the I think there was like a first issue or something. And that's why I love that character, Gwen Poole, because the fans chose that character, right? And so that's how, And I actually have the cap, and I had T-shirts, and I gave the T-shirts because they started getting small for me to my niece. But Gwen Poole is just like what you did with Frog G here, bro. Like the fans wanted it, and you gave the fans what they wanted, right? And
Oh, yeah.
nowadays, people like create, people are out there giving, when fans say, well, this is what we want, they go, nah, screw you, we know better than you. But, and then the fans will come back and support you. The same thing that happened with, what was it? Oh, gosh. I can see it in my eyes, that blue thing, right? The video game thing with the blue, the video game. Angela maybe knows, Tim maybe knows, I don't know. In the chat, do you guys know? It's some, gosh, it was a big, huge thing. They put teeth on it, and everybody complained that like it shouldn't have teeth.
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right. So they put Sonic the Hedgehog out in the trailer with teeth, and the fans were like, "Bro, that is disgusting. That's horrible. Don't take it." And instead of them saying, "No, we know what's good for you guys. We know this is good," they went back to the drawing board, removed it, cost them extra $70 million to do that, and then they came out. It was a smash hit, bro. Because they listened.
Well, and I will say, if we didn't enjoy drawing that trading card and the character, we probably wouldn't have done it anyway. We want fan service. We want the fans to like what they get. But if we hated doing it, there wouldn't be a comp. But we really enjoyed it, and it was like, what if we have him do this? I'm like, oh, dude, that'd be a cool scenario. And so the lore just came about. So I'm all for the fans. I mean, we do this to get for the fan, but we do it for ourselves too.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta enjoy doing it, right?
That's why. But that's also why I'm doing Absolute also, which is my original title. I'm doing that also because that's my thing. That's what I also want to do. Frog is another one. So like Inkspots has his IPs that he's also going to be working on. So yeah.
So you said you want to talk about this a bit more. So let's go back.
Well, no, I was just saying that Frog G makes these.
No. Right? Sorry, the actual. Oh yeah. So carry on.
Sorry. No, yeah, Frog makes these. So he actually is very crafty. Because he is a mechanic also, but he makes like gaming dice and like these things out of acrylic. I don't know, man. He does a lot of amazingly cool stuff. And for Absolute, that one of the Absolute campaigns is a thank you, I think, or whatever. But he made these box lights for me and Inkspots and Luke Alietta, Death Metal Hero. So and we're like, dude, how about this for the next? Because we did Frog 1, and how about this for the next campaign? We'll have you do these and put them, if we sell a Big Daddy tier, where you get everything in the campaign. You get also a painted page plus it's inked complimentary page, and then also you get one of these box lights. So they're really dope. They're handmade by Frog, and they're super cool. Like I said, I have one just because of a thank you from the first book. Actually, it's from Frog G1. Yeah. So they're super cool. They're super dope, and he makes them himself. So. And there's a sketch cards. There's a sketch card tier. You could either get it black and white, or also black and white, and then hand colored by ink for an upcharge. Yeah, and that's just some more samples of like Ink's work process and workflow and work area. Yeah,
this is cool, man. Somebody
thanks.
I was watching the Art of J.
The Art and Times of J. Ryan. Yeah.
Yesterday, and somebody in the chat was having a go at him about like, why not physical? Why not physical? I'm like, bro, what? Like people, there is such a thing as like, we live in 2026. Just because you're doing digital doesn't mean that you can't draw, right?
And well, not only that, like just because you draw doesn't mean you have to do traditional. Like, you do digital saves you money. Like it does.
Yeah, I always recommend people who are doing it to do both, right? To get schooled,
and it saves you time. To be honest with you, like I can work faster digitally without a doubt. Especially if you're coloring, you can work faster digitally than you can traditionally.
Plus, you make mistakes, and then you got to.
It's easier to fix. Without.
Well, you got white out, right?
Traditionally inked page, it takes me way longer if I'm doing pen and ink because I got to wait for even if I blow dry it, I still have to wait for a little bit longer for the ink to dry. So and that's just more of a process. I don't have to worry about that with digital. I'm good.
No. Yeah, I mean, I do everything digital. My friend goes, "Oh, here's pen and paper, pencil to draw for you." I was like, "No, I can't bring myself to do it that way anymore." Because it's been like 30. It's been 30 years since I last did some good drawings, and I'm like, I'm off that now. I like my digital, and I'll stick with digital.
So people like what they like, and there's nothing wrong. But here's the thing: you still need to know the tricks of the trade in order to do it. Like you
Yes.
still need to know how to write prose in order
Yeah.
to use a writing program. Like you have to know how to write. Like yeah,
Yes.
you can put everything in the proper areas, but if you don't know
Yeah.
how to do sentence structure and pacing and storytelling, you're going to be screwed. So yeah, you need to know the thing. Just because you're not writing everything down on a piece of paper doesn't mean you're not writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Setting it up, what's it going to be? You know, how many pages are going to put it out? How are you going to put it out? Where's going to be dialogue? Who's saying what? Where they're saying? How big the shot is, right? Is it internal, external? Yeah, you got to know all the shit.
Yeah.
And just because you're using this, a program to do it, well, I'm using here Clip Studio, not Clip Studio. What am I using? Celtex, right?
Okay.
And I've been using Celtex for maybe since 2004. Right. I like to stick to things that I already know. So I've been.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Yeah. So this I've been using for since 2004, 2005, and Celtex, manga since 2008, I think. Which is now Clip Studio Paint. So it's easy. Like, I mean, I know how to format my crap, right? I know exactly where I need to go, write up what I need to write, and I'm away. And I think
like I use Open Office. Yeah.
Right.
So,
there are a lot of these things out there, and you can make your life so much easier by just, this is something I was working on just last night, trying to come up with a festival story.
Nice.
But all the different things. I think people get hung up between like, oh, it's because of computer, that means it's less. If it's physical, then it's right. But dude, it's not. We're not using AI here, right?
There's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go over all of them. Well, not all of them. I go over quite a few pros and cons between digital and traditional. Like there's no. It's a preference. That's all that it is. Like you still have to know what you're doing. You
got to know your.
Like I know how to color, but I would rather ink do it because he's way better. So it's just the way it is.
You got to be comfortable with your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I mean, like I'm not good at art, so I'll get somebody else to do it. I'll show them what my character should look like. How many belts, whatever you want to call it. How many pouches. Yeah, where they go. But I'm not going to draw it. That's their job. Because they're good at that.
Or you can want it in a certain style that you don't.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I love seeing this because I mean, this is how I set up my friggin' when I'm doing when I'm doing my clay work. Sculpture.
Sculpting.
So I'll have all my like tools set up. I'll have my carving tools here. I'll have my water here. I'll have my sponge here, and then
ink is way more organized than what I am. My everything over there is chaotic. It's just pure chaos. Yeah. He's really good, and like I said, he's had a rough go at things lately. He's back on track, but he's still recuperating from everything. One thing, like I don't know what he put in the update, but he did have his appendix recently removed, so he was recovering from that. Crazy stuff, man. His life's been a train wreck for the past year and a half, but we love doing this, and like. He feels unbelievably terrible about being late. Like he really does. Like he takes it to heart. So
the thing is that people trust you because they've been with you, right? They know.
I have. This is my 5th book. So yeah.
So guys,
how many?
What's that?
I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still alive.
Okay.
Are you just? What happened? Did you like?
تكنولوجيا عشانها تكنولوجيا
Problems, or did you have?
Now we're talking. Oh yeah, that's a whole goddamn package right there.
Okay.
Neither one.
Oh, okay.
I'm alive. Don't worry.
Hey, guess who's in the chat?
At least you're alive. I don't know if he's looking.
I don't think he's looking either. I think he's gone back to whatever he was doing.
I think he left.
No, no, I'm still here. Angela Curry. All right.
Yeah. Okay, I think that sort of ties us over for whatever we're doing. But man, 56 books, 56 books, 56 pages, guys.
Yeah. 56 pages.
10 pages away from
pages of
completion.
Frog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say 10 to 15 pages away because he has to upload everything to the cloud server. So I'm estimating at this point it could be less. So yeah. He's quick. Ink is really quick once he gets in his groove.
Yeah.
So
Oh gosh. Wait. You actually get the two-page spread and painted artwork for this pledge?
Oh yeah.
God, look at that. I mean, seeing that like on your wall, bro, in a frame.
And that's the other thing. Like the 2-page spreads, they're paintings. Like you don't even need to. They don't need to be in a book at all. Like they're display pieces. Like they're.
This is what I mean. Framed in glass on the wall. This is.
It's dope if you put like the painted page and then the ink page underneath it. It'll cost you with the frame, but it would look really cool. You know. So yeah.
Man, I love this work. I'm gonna have to get you to get me a digital, because I mean, when you get your when you get your completed book out, I'll go for a trade paperback, but I'll be happy with the digital.
We do plan on actually doing that with book 3. After that's all done, we plan on releasing like a crowdfunding or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, is it a 3-page? Is it a 3-issue? Sorry, is it a 3-issue story?
3-issue arc story. 3-page story arc. It's a 3-issue story arc. And so once they're all done, we're going to collect them and then put that out. So you can get the first printings, or if you really want to wait, I don't know how long it'll be, for the quote unquote omnibus or trade, you can do that too. There's going to be more Frog stories after that, but after Frog 3, I'm working on Absolute now. That's just because I'm waiting. But I'm going to go back to Absolute. He's going to work on his stuff, and then we'll go back to Frog once those books are done. So we're going to bounce back and forth after that. So there's One Stormy Night. That was my silent comic. Yeah.
So it's a wordless one. So what you're saying?
Yeah. There's sound effects, but there's no dialogue.
So it's like the Marvel one with no words, right?
Yeah, like the G.I. Joe issue, Sin City, the Sin City Silent Night comic. What was that? Was it Silent Night?
I think the one I remember is from I can't remember. I have a copy of it.
There's a G.I. Joe. Marvel recently put out quite a few, but before that, it was the G.I. Joe issue. But I was a big fan of the Sin City one. And that's why I did that one also, because I wanted to try it, see if I could do it, because a silent comic is not easy, because you have to rely on nothing but storytelling. And I think I did a good job. It was my, 3rd book I ever did. So I think either way, it's a dope art book. That's for sure. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Very messy, very loose. I enjoyed it.
I think the one I remember from Marvel was around about, enough said, that's it. It was in December 2000. I have that somewhere, a copy of that.
I didn't even know about that one. Okay.
Yeah, that was, let me get the cover of that. So you might have seen the cover. And I hate it when, it's, gosh, it was about 2000. It was 1999. When they started putting it out, and there was a couple different ones from that, and just note, it was like this was the thing for it. Enough said. And so there's different ones, and and so there was no words in the stories at all.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know they put these out. I don't know when I stopped buying. I think it was around 2000, 2001 is whenever I kind of fell out of comics. So
so there was the one I just saw a picture of, the one you're talking about, the G.I. Joe one. Let me see if I can bring this out.
I can't remember what I had. It's like issue 27.
Yeah. These are the ones that you had.
They recently put out new ones, but I think it's like issue 27 or something. It's the Storm Shadow's first appearance.
So that's the one that has them all. like the complete.
Oh, okay. So that's like a
Right.
complete set of it. It's a collection.
So X-Men 2021, Amazing Spider-Man 39. So it's these four here, I think. But there was one more. There was one more. There was a Sideways book that came out. So it was actually Sideways. So the title would be here, and
Yeah,
the
like
characters would be this way.
Like the X-Force issue. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I know that Spider-Man book. I've seen it. I don't have it.
the New Beginning one. This one here.
Oh, is that what that one is? Okay. But yeah, no, like I said, I was more of a Frank Miller guy. Inspired anyway, so that's where the silent comic idea came from mainly.
Okay.
Was Sin City. Yeah.
How'd they do for you, like with the silent comic? How were people into that? Is that something that they liked, or what was the deal? Response back?
It was very positive. I only had a couple people that just they thought the art style seemed rushed. They were like, like I think I charged $7 for it. It was 24 pages, and I was like $7. And they were like, "Oh, for $7." I'm like, that's the art style I wanted. I'm like, it was intentional.
Yeah.
I can draw a lot cleaner, but it's supposed to be this messy.
But
So,
didn't they see the work?
There
Like
was a couple people had a couple parts where they couldn't follow it perfectly, but for the most part, like there was a couple of YouTube reviews of it. For the most part, they got the story right. They got the story down. So like there was a couple things where they just like, oh, he's doing this, like that's not what he's doing. But I'm not mad about it. Like I said, this was kind of a more experimental thing for me, and I was just hoping everybody would enjoy it. So yeah.
I like the style.
And then there's a Shelby Robertson variant for it.
Right.
He did. Yeah.
So that was your first book, or did you?
That was my third book. Absolute 1 and 2. Those are my first two books. So yeah, and those were. I didn't know what I was doing fully with those. So the first one was 43 pages, and the second one was 53 or 56 or something like that. So I did because I was just. The first one I actually did 24 page. I did a layout and I had that done. And then the second half of it, I just did. And then the second book I just did. I didn't plan it to be sectioned off at all or divisible by anything.
Right.
So, so the way I work is a little funky whenever it comes to just me. I tend to I don't write anything really. I write it as I go in my head as I'm drawing it, but I have the beats in my head. Like I know what beats I want to hit. And then I just draw the book, and however it gets there, and how many pages. With Frog, very different. Ink and I will get together. We'll write it out. We'll put the things down. We'll make sure it fits in the 48 pages. The story flows right. Like it's a very different process, but it's still Marvel method. Like we have, okay, he's going to jump around here. Here's the 4 panels. And then sometimes I change it to 6. Sometimes I change it to 3. So it's different, but it's more structured. Whenever I work by myself.
I thought I was seeing things.
Yeah.
Do you know what just happened?
What's up?
Look at you're gonna have difficulty, but Tim, look at the screen.
What? I'm looking at it.
Oh.
Do you see it?
Yeah, the eyes closed.
Yeah, it freaked me out. I was like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? It's like, wait, did I just see that or did I not see that?
Supposed to happen?
Yeah, Ink Spots did that. Yeah, he animated that. It's pretty funny. It's just
I was like, when it went down, I was like,
the problem with that, like he did it, but the problem with that was it lowers the color resolution on it drastically. Yeah. So he just did it with that one page. But yeah, I forgot all that.
That's cool. It's trippy, like when you just see it for the first time. I was like, did I miss that? What did I do? Did I just go over some other page? But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome,
man. We're gonna do a trade pretty soon of these.
Yeah. Of the 3, once we're done with the third one, then we'll put out a trade paperback. Yeah, a collection of all of it, plus maybe some bonus material, which there's not a whole lot of, but we still have plenty like to add to it. So if you missed out on these, you'll still get some, or if you want you got all these and you still want the trade, you're going to get some extra content in the trade. So
yeah. So
that's funny.
the number 1 is also offered, right? with this as well.
What's that?
Jim, so number one is also
nothing.
offered with us.
I was just gonna say I just wrapped up. Me and my team wrapped up our 4th issue of Melvin, and it's gonna go into a trade soon.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
But I think
That's
that's
cool,
smart
man.
because, like people get the original issues, and they can then get the trade with extra things, or if they missed out on all of them, you could just pick up the trade. So yeah, it's smart to do.
Yeah, my aim is always to get to the trade.
Image back in the day did that with all the all the original, because it was like it seemed like the majority of the series were limited, and then they these are popular, so they came out with the ongoing series.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go to trade as soon as you finish your first arc, because you got the following. Plus, some people don't want to open up their original art, original issues all the time to read. So you got the trade there to read, and also people want to, if you want to give it over to your friends to read, you don't want to give them your single issues to read, right? Check this out. Here's my trade version, not my real, original that I want to look after and keep it sealed up. But it's cool to actually, the other thing is that once it's in a trade, you can take it wherever you want and offer it to whatever you want to say, hey, look, do you want to hold this in your store, right? It's a complete package, but also we also have single ones as well. But here's a completed book, and I think a lot of people who are just coming in and trying to grift the crowdfund, all they think about is that one book, right?
Right.
Let me just get that one issue and run away with the money, and it's like, dude, you're just ruining it for everybody. You got to get to your story arc, right? Or complete that one issue as a complete story, right? If you're just going to put out one.
Right. And that is something we're also going to do with Frog as we go after this 3-story arc. After that, they're all going to be self-contained stories, whether they're 96 pages or 72, whatever it may be. They're going to be self-contained, but it's still like an overarching, anthem behind it. But there's still going to be a self-contained story that you can just digest, and that way you're good to go.
You ever thought about doing a 0 issue?
I don't know about a 0.
Frog G, where he wasn't the Frog G, where he was just a mechanic.
I guess so. Yeah, it would just be
Frog 0. Frog 0.
Frog 0. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks for having me.
It's been an awesome, almost 3-hour chat, just relaxing and chilling out. But Tim's trying to stay awake, so I don't want to keep him too long.
What?
But also,
I deny any falling asleep. That's never happened.
Erroneous on all charges.
These lies.
I'm sure it's almost midnight there wherever you guys are, but here it's only 4:00. So thank you guys. Thank you both. Do you have any final words? Is what I want to say there for you, Jason. You got 3 to 5 minutes to come up with some amazing.
3 to 5 minutes. That's actually a long time. First off, like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content in this channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Us smaller guys, we rely on the fans. You don't have to share out my book at all. Share out his YouTube. Get some subscribers here. Everybody, read comics. Comics are supposed to be a getaway and escape. And enjoyable, whether they're tragic or humorous or what may have you. Read them. You're supposed to read comics, everybody. And if you're buying a $400 comic, read it digitally. I don't know. Listen to good music, I guess, and be kind to each other and party on, dude.
Party on, Wayne.
Yeah, party on, Garth.
All right. Nailed it. You got the part.
Nice. I will take my check now.
Oh, that's right. I muted myself. Apologies. I don't want to say anything over. So Discord. I was just going to say share Discord, but I wanted to here you guys can come and be part of our Discord, but also I'm trying to find this.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful.
So this is Tim's work. You can see it in our Discord.
Artist Sid
right here.
Telis.
There you go.
He's been pretty solid.
Carry on. You're talking.
He's been pretty solid, and I like to say that this will be a pretty good issue.
There we go. That's what I'm hoping. Melvin,
Nice.
it's officially done, he said. Number 4.
That's how you
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
And now he can,
right there.
once number 4 comes out, he's ready to go to trade, just like we're talking about, right?
Yep.
Get your work to trade, boys, ladies.
Yeah, looks good, man.
Don't think about the one and done. Think about the future, you know.
Well,
And
there was so much like lore and like subplots that I had to chip away to make from the first issue. That it's enough to make actually a companion book to go with the trade, which me and a few others are working on right now.
Oh, nice.
right. All right. Good night, everybody. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever you are. Thank you, Jason. Thank you,
See you
Jim.
Friday.
See you in the next one. Kakete ano. Bye for now.
Nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. And I won't bother you again, so pretty please bring me back to life.